I think supposedly I'm live, but let me know. Hello, people. If you could hear me right. Yeah. Her life's already doing. Maybe I should just adjust my lifetime, hey? Because it shows up on your weekdays. I know. It's just... I mean, not like I can't do it on weekend, but I have to change everything's schedule. It's a little bit tricky for me. But not undoable. But then, this month, just let's do it. Still on Thursday. Next month, let's see what can happen. Hello, people. If you're hearing me all right, let me know. Because every time when I switch this on, it's uncertain how it's going to turn out. Okay, it doesn't look too bad on my end, but let's hope it's actually the case. Okay, cool. If it sounds fine. Seattle, USA. Hi, people. Hope you're all doing well. It's May. See the sunshine? If I don't close that, the blind, this whole room will be completely blinding. You're gonna have your eyeballs scorched because it's so bright. I try to do it like with natural light, so just a light in front of me and then the back, but the back will be completely whitewashed. It's like I would be like, holy. I will, if my face is bright and I don't close down the blinds behind me, it's like I'm glowing with white light. It's not gonna be a very good live stream. So, no, I didn't change mic. When I live stream, I use a different mic than when I record my videos. This is wired into my camera. It should be okay because with all the numbers I can read on my end, it's like within the perfect zone. If I speak louder, it would actually peak over to the red part. At least from my end, it looks good. But, you know. Stuttgart. Oh, actually, I remember there's a prof, I think. I've had a prof who's from there. German. Let me know if the sound is right, because I think it's right. I didn't do anything on YouTube's end. It should just go through my computer as it is, and then my monitor is staying a very good level. I can up it, but I think it's peak. Like it just may go into the peaking part. It should be good. Jamaica. My outfit, yeah, it's like this thing I've like in my videos I've worn this too many times. It's just really comfy, and it's handful, but it's like huge. It's like a pajama. Sunny in Jamaica. We're sunny in Winnipeg today too, but we've been having weird weathers for the last week or two. I've seen like crazy tornado. Was it in like America yesterday? Somewhere in California or somewhere? Because I saw a video yesterday on China's social media about a huge tornado in the States. And I'm like, what? It may just be other people's settings, you know. People's settings are different. Because my live stream level is, I don't know. Like on my end, it always says okay. And if I up it, it just tells me it peaks. Okay. Yeah, so we're 2024 May. Last month, April, we mostly talked about Korean dramas. Right now, we are in the so-called busy, starting to get busy, and we'll get busier season of Chinese dramas. Because heading towards summer break, and the traditional big fighting slot. Although obviously right now, the biggest thing is joy of life. That's why I didn't do this live last week when I was thinking we should do it last weekend. Then I realized, oh, it's on the same day. The drama actually goes live on Thursday. I'm like, okay, wait a week. So today officially, I think Tencent aired up to episode 17. But if you're not paying extra money, you're watching episode 16 today. So it's pretty good estimation. Last week I said it's about 16 episodes. And I'm actually halfway through episode 16 before I sat down and opened live. And so today we definitely will talk about that, but a couple of other things, because today also the 狐妖小红娘 aired on iQIYI, starting today actually, just a couple of hours ago. It went live on iQIYI, the Fox Spirit, whatever, matchmaker, the Yang Mi and Gong Jun one. So it just went live, and I also switched it on like this morning after I woke up. Like literally, that's my life. Yeah, not really wanting to watch the drama right from first moment of a day, but I know I'm doing live, so I switched it on. Had my breakfast. It was running all the time while I was doing other things. I've looked at up to about like midway or passing midway point, episode 3 of Fox Spirit. As of now, so I'm pretty up to date with everything. I've been watching the other drama on iQIYI / Tencent, the Qin Dynasty one, 天行健, which English title is Heroes, the Qin Junjie, Liu Yuning, Pang Hanchen, and a couple of other people one. That one I've actually been watching since day one when they started airing it. It's pretty good. It's better than I thought. So those are the ongoing ones I'm watching. I know there are a couple more that are ongoing. People actually asked me on Discord about like, are you gonna watch this and then react to it? And I'm like, no, I haven't. Why? Is it good? And literally, the reason that they want me to watch is so that I can rant about that. So I was like, okay, so that means the drama is not good. So these are the dramas ongoing that I am watching, the other Chinese dramas. Heat waves and hail in Bahamas. We've had hail here in Winnipeg last week, and it was huge. But it's very like just in one area. There's hail. Next door, literally you walk 3 steps and it's not within the hail zone. And last week was like that. So very quickly telling you, yes, 狐妖小红娘 up to episode 3. My reaction within the first 3 episodes is, I don't know what's the story. It's really like that. Like it kind of like does not matter. Nothing matters in the story. You know they have a setup, and you know like it's aiming at like whatever they want to do. But in terms of execution, like going to the end goal of the narrative, and also like this plot develops in a really weird way. It does not connect. It's like one scene and the next scene, it feels like something must have happened between them. Otherwise it wouldn't be, but they don't explain it to you. It's like they're not connected. Scene and scene, it's like in between. There must be like a couple of things happened. No, it just, yeah, that's 狐妖小红娘 right now. I have no idea what they're doing. I literally can tell you, like, there's no character, there's no build-up, there's no goal of narrative. I don't know what they're doing. It's already 3 episodes. I don't see a story. I don't see characters. I don't see... That's what Fox Spirit right now reads to me. It's like a lot of dressed up pretty people. But because there's so much dressed up on their hair and makeup that they're just exhausted by standing there under the light with all the makeup that they can't play. It's like that kind of feeling. And it's very typical idol fantasy dramas look, style, even the background, because they have that whole curved screen thing. That it's not like it looks bad, but it looks boring. It looks extremely boring and tiring, and like everything you've seen before in this genre. It's another one. It's just another one. Maybe its makeup is a little bit more sort of colorful. It has a little bit more, because the fox demons, right? They have a little bit different flares of like eyeliners and whatever print, like painted on their face. Their hair is a bit crazy. Like they're lit and like idolized in that kind of completely flat lighting that makes them look perfect. But apart from that, it's just like any other fantasy period drama that you've seen. It's like, I don't know. It's like I see no. And basically, this drama right now at episode 3, Fox Spirit, it's not an individual. It's not an individual. If you think about a drama as a person, it's not an individual. It's a copy paste. It's a mold. It just got stamped out of a mold like any other drama of its kind. I can't see any. It doesn't have a personality. It's not anything that's its own. It's just like everything else. So Fox Spirit, that's like up to episode 3, what I think of it, which is, if I wasn't doing this channel as a Chinese drama reviewer, I would not want to continue watching. I'm not getting anything from it. Not anything. Not like any form of enjoyment from the most basic, like from the grung chakra to the krung chakra. It's like nothing. It hits none of them. It's like, it doesn't work on any level, basically. So that's only up to episode 3. Okay, I don't know what happens later, but honestly, I don't see it gets any better. No way. Because from script level, this is not it's not a story written by somebody who loved the story. Sometimes it's really easy. You just need the first 10 minutes of anything, of a drama or a film, to understand the storyteller, if they're eager to communicate, if there's something they want to say, right? It's an attitude, it's an inclination, it's a feeling, and it's in everything. And whether they really thought through what they want to say, and they really want to say it, and they've worked out all the minutes and all the scenes in this story, how it's gonna connect and work. And because you have to put that much money into production, you would have gone through your script many times to figure out exactly what you want to put out. So technically, really, first 10 minutes of anything, you should be able to get if the storyteller really wants to tell the story and they care about their story. Particularly at the beginning, everybody knows you should start and end a story with your like maximum effort of making it good. It's like writing an essay, right? Yet, if you watch a drama and the first episode 10 minutes, it's like there's nothing going on, then the whatever the expression that storyteller is trying to express in this work is waste of your time. And yeah, you can so easily tell. So I know with the first 3 episodes, I'm like, yeah, no hope. Pretty much should give up at this point, but I'll keep watching for sure because it's what I do. And it's not even rant worthy because it's not like apparently stupid. It's just so unnecessary. Another unnecessary drama, really. Yeah. So maybe after all, Fairy and Devil is a unique occurrence of that production company. Maybe for that production company that's the only one it's ever meant to do well. Like it just happens to be like the beginning, right? 开局即巅峰, and then it's all the way down the hill. They started on top. They started on Everest, like the top of it, and everything else is just going down, right? So it could be, maybe. Unfortunately for this production company, it's just that. Yeah. 胡耀小红娘, first impression of that, right after watching it a couple of hours, right? Before this, it's like, I don't get it. I don't have hope for it, honestly, for now. Pretty people, but who cares? There are plenty of pretty people in Dramaland. And honestly, if you just want to look at pretty face, you should just buy magazines and look at hard shots. That's super photoshopped. Prettiness is so eventually irrelevant. After you've lived long enough and watched enough stuff, you realize it's important, but only to an extent, right? And then if there's nothing to back it up, then it's nothing. It's just like nothing. And 天行健, if you're not watching, I would actually recommend you to check out a bit. It's on iQIYI and Tencent at the same time. Heroes, the Qing Dynasty setting drama of technically 4 groups of people trying to get the same treasure. It's a treasure hunt drama, led by Qin Junjie, Pang Hancheng, and Liu Yining. It's a weird drama in terms of it has 3 male leads, but honestly, only one kind of is like really fitting the narrative and the style of the drama, which would be Qin Junjie. The other 2 actors are very kind of not within the same Photoshop layer. It's like Qin Junjie and the older actors, like the Liu Peiqi and Li Liqun, those older actors who are playing the Qing Dynasty aristocrats, right? Those older actors plus him belongs to one type of acting and sort of vibe of historical drama, whereas the other 2 male leads are like in their own layers, and it's weird. They don't come together, and it's like looking at different dramas in the same drama. But I am very happy with Qin Junjie's performance. He's the one who you're like, he's the serious actor and the proper actor among the 3 younger guys, and he's in a different acting zone and class. And the drama is actually pleasantly and surprisingly logical and watchable, and production quality wise very good. I mean, it's better than Joy of Life too. Production quality, and we're just talking about production quality. Heroes is a lot better. Joy of Life too is just we're gonna rant about the things I don't like about it. Okay, for sure. So if you're not watching, I would actually highly recommend you check it out a bit. Surprisingly good Qin Junjie's performance. He hasn't been in many things in recent years, and I do have a feeling that probably it's more fitting for him to develop towards being a more serious actor in the future, the type of proper serious actor instead of idol. Like, it's not his zone, and he's the type of actor, if he sticks with this and keeps working, like by the time he's 50, he would be like the current 50 years old really good actors, like that type of actors, like the Wang Jinsong and Liu Yijun. You know, that's where he's heading towards. It's like, if you watch 天行健 Heroes, you'll tell he already vibes like an old school, old fashioned, proper, very, like when he is there, he has screen presence, he has like a weight type of actor instead of being just idol. So I would recommend that drama to you. And then, yeah, we definitely have to talk about Joy of Life too. So started last Thursday. It's been airing at a quite weird schedule, but I think from this week onwards, every day will be 2 episodes, even weekends. Because last weekend they did 1 episode on Sunday and Saturday. But then from this week, I think they told everyone that they're gonna do 2 episodes per day. And then Tencent, after it, early June, when it finishes airing, the only 36 episodes actually, second season of Joy of Life, they are gonna connect it to Tale of Rose. Liu Yifei's Tale of Rose, the contemporary drama, I think that's been decided already. Which day exactly? I think it's like 4 or 6 June. So it's like we have only 10 days to go before the whole Joy of Life finishes airing. It's very fast. That huge. It's not a huge mug. It's not huge. It's just thick. It has a really thick wall. Like the wall is like this thick. And I have crazy lipsticks, so I'm using a straw. It's the cupcake one. I think I've shown you. Okay, so before we go into talking about Joy of Life 2, I'll quickly look through the chat and see if anybody is... Well, for what role? Isn't she just doing what she's doing? Qin Junjie. Yeah, Qin Junjie is really good. Like, even, like, I always know he's good. He just hasn't had many good works in recent years. And after watching this one, I talked to a friend of mine who I usually talk to when we talk about dramas. I'm like, if you haven't watched his drama, watch it and see his performance. And she watched it and she's like, yeah, I'm surprised that he is that sort of like matured and in genre. Like he understands what genre he's in, so he's performing to that kind of expectation. Like he's a very sensitive actor. He knows where he is. So I hope he doesn't quit drama acting, and I hope he sticks with this industry for another 10 years, and then I think he will get to eventually a really good place. 春色继承人, somebody asked. There's a lover in my hometown. I watched a couple of episodes. I couldn't continue. It doesn't speak to me. It's another story I would call unnecessary. I don't feel the characters are well designed. They're not well written, and I don't know what's the narrative purpose. It's two pretty people there, but I don't care about their story. I watched a couple of episodes. Really, the color, not my thing. The overall color tone is very yellowy, and it makes me feel like I want to sleep. It's like that cozy, warm light, you see at night before you go to sleep. You're supposed to turn off all the blue light, and it just gives you that sort of, I'm induced to like the melatonin is rising in me when I watch 春色继承人, because it's so yellow, and I'm like, I start to like doze off. And also I don't get the story, basically. I'm not excited about the story. I don't care about characters. There's not like, so he works at a morgue, and she's like, what? Like she has only one leg, so just because of that, like, why should I care? The story is so, meh. I think I watched episode 4 or 5, and I'm like, and then I skipped a couple of episodes down the line to see what happens, and I still don't get it. It's like, I don't get, there's no story. I don't know why I'm watching it. I don't have a problem with Li Xian or Zhou Yutong. It's just the story is like, there's no story. I can't hook onto it. Okay, it's like a slippery surface. It's like, you try to stick to it, oops, and you touch it and you just glide off, and I'm like, okay. I tried to watch 春色继承人. Okay, it didn't work on me. It worked on other people. I know. It did work on other people. It's another one that totally does not work on me. I couldn't get into it. I tried very hard. And I'm like, not speaking to me at all. Not speaking to me at all. Tried, not speaking to me at all. Give up. So, I gave up on that drama. And also I remember in that drama, isn't that they're the pair of old ladies, right? Right from the beginning, you see like the grandmother. They're trying to put the kids together. You know what I hate about this type of setup? It's like everybody is 工具人. It's like their only function is to smash the male lead and female lead together. And they're either shipping them as we are supposed as audiences to ship them within the story, or they're just like, they come out of nowhere. Like two grandmothers, there's no introduction. You don't know anything about their life and why they're in the story. They just show up, and they don't even give you a reason why they want to do it. They just naturally, immediately says that these two people are perfect fit for each other, and the two grandmothers are just like trying to put them together. I'm like, why? Why? Like, where does it come from? And like, even if you have, which is very common device in the drama, to have supporting roles shipping the main roles in audience perspective and actually helping them, right? Which we call like 助攻. Okay, fine. But at least like in your story, you have to give me a reason for those people. They're the individuals. Like why they function in this way. Like why do they just automatically assume the position of we have to, now you two kiss? Why? And I hate that. Like it starts right from there. It doesn't even bother to explain what those two grandmothers are. They just show up right from the beginning and they're like trying to put these two people together. I'm like, why? Why? I can't deal with that. Okay? I just feel that's just so unfair to the audiences, and it put me off so much too. So that's 春色寄情人. There's a lover in my hometown. I don't get it, so I didn't watch. Now let's get to Joy of Life 2. So started last week. I watched everything up to today's episode 16, halfway. Like I haven't watched 17 because you have to pay money for it. Yeah, Tencent. Okay, first thing about Joy of Life season 2, that I think everyone would agree up to this point if you're watching, is, oh my god, so much ads. And if you're watching it on Tencent, it's unbelievable the amount of ads that pops out. Either on screen as just an icon, or as like a band that dresses it up, or at the beginning of every episode, and one after another and another being read out. Or within the drama, as it airs 10 minutes, it comes in like an ad that's played by the actors. Like the actors are dressed up as the character, but then they're talking about this and that. And the constant pop out on screen, if you're watching it on Tencent, it's like every 5 minutes, a banner comes out. So much ad. Oh my god. It's like Penguin has been starved for 5 years. It hasn't had any food. And with this drama, it just want to eat it all. It's like, I'm just going to get everything. Oh my god, the amount of ad is like, I've never seen a Chinese drama with this much advertisement everywhere. It's like post-it note, like on the screen, fully, constantly. Oh my god, it's so bad. Oh. And it's like even within the drama, right? The whole yogurt, like the yogurt thing, you know, it's in the plot. They literally managed to squeeze it in the plot and asking characters to eat yogurt. That's like, okay. It's too much. It's too much. So don't watch it on Tencent. Honestly, just watch it off a pirated website so that you don't get interrupted. Like that's honestly, genuinely my suggestion. If you want to watch this drama, watch it off a pirated site. You don't get interrupted. Isn't it weird? It's like, I actually don't recommend you to watch it from its proper site because it's too much. You can't, like, do you know, like, if you're not watching it from Tencent, you're probably not seeing it, but in China's Tencent, literally they have all those like made up little banners at the bottom of the screen that shows up with like all photoshopped with the brands of things like coming up. Like you have to click to shut it down. Otherwise, it's just on the screen. It's like post-it note everywhere. You have to and it shows up randomly while plot is ongoing. It just pops up, and you have to like physically go in and turn it off. I'm like, what the f? Yeah, like on YouTube, yeah, like put an ad blocker on. I'm just saying, it's too much. It's too much. Oh my god. So that's point number one. Is like, it's a bit desperate. You know, I know you want money, okay, but it's too heavy-handed. it's like not even trying to hide it. It's too much. It's so. It has no taste. Basically, it's just too much. So that's number one. Number two, the continuously crappy production quality. I think I've complained about season one in terms of I hate its look. I say it looks like the pickled Chinese garlic. Now, in the second season, they didn't make it that green, so it no longer looks so much like pickled garlic. But then it started to look like they don't have reflector, they don't have any polyboards, they don't have any lighting equipment. Like there's so many things whether it's interior or exterior, that the actor's face is completely dark. It's not being lit at all. Like, it's not even being helped by one piece of giant anything that's white that can reflect light. You don't have to be posh about it. You can literally get a piece of foam that is used to secure your television, you know, like the styrofoam. You just get a big piece and put it under the actor's face. Get a little bit filled light so that they are visible in the shot. They don't even bother to do that. So there's so many shots that the actor's face is completely dark. They're like, you can't even tell where's the light source because there's no light source. It's like they're completely dark. And it's not even a dark environment. It's not like middle of the night. It's like daytime in a normal lit environment. Their face are completely dark. I have no idea what the heck is going on with this drama. The lighting is so bad. Oh my god. Oh. And if you look at all the other production details, hair, makeup, costume, as bad as season 1, okay? They really kept that. It's like, we didn't do any improvement so that it looks consistent. Apart from the fact that Zhang Ruoyun like lost, I don't know, like 40 pounds or something. So, like at the end of last season, he got stabbed and he's on the ground, and they reshot that scene where in this time it's him still in the same costume, same angle, same shot, but it's the 5 years later actor, and it looks like he's a balloon that has been stabbed and lost all the gas inside, so he shrunk. And the only thing that changed is the body weight of Zhang Ruoyun, where by stabbing him, he lost 40 pounds in one moment. Apart from that change, everything is still as ugly, as rough, coarse, poorly put together as it was. And not as green and as ugly colored as before, but still ugly colored. And yeah, you can tell it's shot in the Tangcheng in Xiangyang is shot in Hengdian, and it's like they don't even bother to dress up the set. It looks just as rough and as undesigned as it is. If you go to, like, look at my videos last year, you will see so many places you will see in this drama that's literally just shot. Like, they didn't even bother to dress up the building behind or color it differently, paint it slightly, like clean it up a little bit, make it look like their own drama, like different from other period dramas. Didn't bother to do that at all. It looks exactly like what Hengdian looks like if you travel there today. Wow. And it's like the highest anticipated period dramas, so they have the most amount of resources they can use. They have money, okay? And if this drama doesn't have money, no other drama has money. And with all that, they still manage to keep the poor standard of production they had 5 years ago, as if nothing has happened in the world for 5 years past. Wow. The audacity. 脸皮太厚, okay? Their face is so thick, it's beyond description. Yeah. I just want to remind people of what pickled Chinese garlic is, so you know what I'm talking about. When you pickle garlic, they turn green. It's real. No joke. So that's the color I would call the drama first season, right? It looks like that. And then this time it's not that green, but then apart from not being that green, it's still ugly. Lighting is terrible. Color is terrible. Costume is bad. The tailorship is terrible. Like the design, the material, oh my god, it looks so bad. And all those synthetic fabrics, like, you know, it's not natural material. It's not cotton, it's not linen, it's not silk. It's polyester and whatever. Because it glows in the way that that's like so plasticky, and everybody is in that thick cut that makes them look like they can't move in their giant thick piece of fabric that doesn't even want to bend. Like when it's being blown by the wind, it's all like a piece of hard plastic, and everybody is dressed in those plastics. It looks so bad. Oh, and then The hair. Go and check out a couple of shots. Like at the beginning, first couple of episodes, when they were in the brothel, and when the couple of princes are all there, 二皇子 and when the 二皇子 entered the brothel and had that whole sequences of the 抱月楼 thing, there's this one shot where the camera moves, right? There's a movement on the prince, and he's a little bit backlit. And his wig is so rough. All the short hair that's sticking off his wig, like when it contacts the head, this part, because it needs to be glued on for the guys, the back of the head part. All the little hair that's sticking out, it was caught by the backlight, and it's all like sticking out. It's so ugly. And the thing is, if you're actually as the director looking at the monitor when you're shooting that scene, you'll see it. You have a monitor, and you would just call. It's like, do another take. We either switch the lighting a little bit so it doesn't catch the hair, or get a hair and makeup person, use the scissors to just like cut those little hair off so that they don't stick out in the backlit scene. It's literally something you can get solved in 1 second if you catch it, but it's not. It's in the final edit, which means they don't have it. They have to put that shot in, but then they don't have a replacement, which means when they were shooting it, nobody caught it. It's like so bad, so rough. The hair was like sticking out. It looks really bad. And I instantly saw that. I'm like, really? You're Joy of Life too. You're supposed to have the most amount of money of period drama production of the last 4 years. What the heck are you doing? It's... Is there an ad for Ozempic? I don't think John Roy Ozempic himself to this skinny. He literally just didn't eat. And it's been that long. You've seen a couple of dramas he's done in between that where he lost his weight, right? Snow Sword Stride, he was already skinny. He lost his weight over the years. He literally, I think he did it just by not eating, really. You can tell, like, he didn't put on muscle. He just lost weight, which means he just didn't eat. You do it by that, like, anybody can do it. If you don't eat, you're gonna lose weight, okay? Pickled garlic with a particular type of thing goes green. Like, it's a very famous Chinese thing. If you're from northern China, you'll know that, and it's very famous. I don't know what to think about Joy of Life, honestly. First, I feel the attitude of the creators are no longer in the right place. They know they were so successful in the first one. They know they're guaranteed, no matter what, for the second season success. And it suddenly becomes the game for the capital. Now, it's produced by Xinli, which the company has a lot of complicated thing happen to it in the last 5 years. If you're into like the history of this company and what it has done and what has happened to it, then you probably know a bit about why the drama looks like what it is like now. But anyway, I feel it has moved way beyond just being a good story and joy of life. It has become something that everybody wants to get something out of it for their own good, for other purposes other than telling a good story. So you have like a whole group of people who are all in this, not for the sake of telling a good story, but for everything else. So you have this weird thing that comes out right now it's 2024 and its production quality is really not even comparable to some low budget period dramas we've seen in the last couple of years, even this year. That is by no means good in terms of story writing, but production standard, honestly, this drama is pathetic. It's pathetic. I'd be ashamed if I were the producer and I put something out like this, just on the hardware side of things, like how bad it looks, how bad and unprofessional it looks. It's props, it's costumes, it's hairstyle, everything, like all those hardware stuff in camera is terrible. And then the aesthetic is non-existent. So this drama has no idea. Like, it doesn't have any expression, style, look. No. Like, don't even go there. It's just like fitting the basic standard of 21st century drama production. They don't even know, again, how to pick focal length, how to move cameras, how to design a shot. Like, they look bad. That's it. Like, so bad. So bad. You go on YouTube, you go on Bilibili, you find any sort of like video makers who actually go out and shoot their own stuff, whether it's a music video or a travel vlog, or even if they're like, reviewing of, I don't know, headphones and whatever, electronics, like any type of, or like filmmaker. There's so many independent filmmaker now on YouTube, right? You probably follow a couple. If you're on YouTube, you know, those famous people like from the days of, like when Peter McKinnon first got really, really popular. I was like, he was like about 100,000 subscribers. That's when I found him. And within 3 months, he got to like 1 million or something. Like, I caught that whole development. Like, just grab like somebody like him or a couple of other really well-known, like on YouTube, video makers. Right? They're on their own. Yes, they're better than like us, average. They probably have 10 cameras and 100 lenses, but it's still considered to be independent, small video maker. Grab any of those guys. Like, they close their eyes, they blindfold themselves, they're gonna make a better looking thing than Joy of Life. It is that bad. Joy of Life's video, like, production standard is that bad. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I can do a better job. I honestly would tell, if I am given the freedom to actually shoot this thing, I don't have to do it. I'll get a cameraman, but I'll get a cameraman I understand they can do it, and I'll let them know, like, I need it to be done like that way. Like, don't put that, like, lack focal length on human for this scene does not make freaking sense. Don't shoot the people from that angle. Like, what are you trying to do? You're not helping the storytelling. It looks bad, and it's not helping the storytelling. The light is terrible. The prop looks like crap. The lighting is like, why are you putting that in the camera? It frustrates me so badly. I'm like, what am I looking at? These days, high schoolers with the proper camera can do a better job than this. What the am I looking at? And you're like, what? The most popular Chinese period drama IP in 2024. How do they even fall asleep at night, the people who make this drama, and feel it's okay? It's like not on their conscience that they're putting this kind of crap out there. It does not embarrass them? Why? So bad. Unbelievable. I haven't even gotten to the story part. I'm already like exploding because it's so bad. Really, it is that bad. And in terms of the story, first 5 episodes, I guess they try to connect to season 1. So they have to deal with the whole fake suicide thing, and a murder thing, fake murder thing, and I'll forgive them, but it's not the best starting point of a story. And then as it goes on, it starts to look more like the first season. All the sort of court stuff and politics, all the different princes and officials and the emperor and all the sort of like typical Chinese period drama, power struggle thing. Now, it's getting more and more familiar as it moves on, like the vibe of the first season. But I remember, I think if you look at my older videos, I never was a huge fan of the type of story it is to start with. It's based on 男频文, right? The male audience-ship, male sort of oriented market of web novel. It has those typical elements that you usually see in the male sort of that type of novel that I'm not a fan of, and I don't connect to it and never will. It's just like, yeah, another one with millions of characters and super long. Never hugely into it. But I was still okay to watch the first season back then. I think at the time it's still acceptable. Pretty exciting to watch some of the parts of it. Now, 5 years later, First is, I think, in terms of production quality, it didn't improve. You can even say it get, I don't know, like same or even worse. And then the way it's being told is more and more heavy on. It's like the whole story is very empty. It's trying to please the audiences constantly. It's trying to short videolize it. It's like every 3 seconds we need to pull a joke. Every 3 minutes we have to do this like compulsory whatever twist and instant gratification thing. They have to put it in there. So the plot is like every 3 minutes you have this like very untasteful joke that they have to just do constantly. To, I don't know, to take like grab your attention to. It's like for the last 5 years, everybody has been brainwashed so much by short video platforms' way of telling stories, TikTok culture, whatever. Like it's all short videoized. So you're looking at 40 episodes, 40 minutes per episode, yes, but within the episode, the scene connections and how it moves, and it's all like short video. It's constantly just like noisy, and it's constantly acting for the acting's sake, funny for the funny's sake. It's just like it does not want to stay still for 1 second. It's like ADHD drama. It's like you just constantly want to have something going on, even though it does not really help the story, help the characters. It's not even interesting. It's just like it's distraction. The whole drama is being constantly distracted by itself. I don't know where it's going. It's just like chaos. That's like what I feel. It's like it's just chaotic. It does not know its center or core. It has no trust in its own storytelling unfolding. It's so anxious. The drama itself is so anxious about impressing the audiences every second. It cannot stay still for one moment, and it just like it's like the shorted, I don't know, wire that's just like sparking boom 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 all the time, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's silly. It's silly and it's noisy for the noisy's sake. You know, it's just trying to appear to be clever, and everybody is constantly sort of like doing that whole "I'm cleverer than you" and see how who can outsmart who thing. But it becomes like that becomes the ultimate goal of the story. And like I need to win at this moment. Every scene I need to win. And it's like we have to win. Like or and just like who has the punchline? You know, who's more clever than who within a second, or like constantly. And I'm like, what the heck am I looking at? It's so. It's just like, you know, I've watched 15 episodes of the drama now of season 2, and you're like, stop and tell me what has happened. I'm like, I have to stop and think, and then I realize I have no idea what happened. It is just a mess. It's like, yeah, things are constantly happening, but like, for what purpose? For what goal? You can remember a couple of moments here and there where like certain good acting showed up for a bit, but then like when you link them together, it's like, is there a purpose, a spine of the story? Like what it's trying to get at? You don't know. I have no idea where it's trying to go, what it's trying to get at. It's just like that's what the drama looks like right now. Yeah, the only couple of good things about this season, yeah, John Rorin looks better when he's skinnier, let's be honest. This period drama land. Like I always tell people, you want to look good in Chinese period dramas, get skinny. You can fight the physical laws of when you're skinny, you can wear 10 layers, still look skinny. If you're not, you wear 1 layer, you look like a balloon. Haha. Particularly when the costumes are not helping you, like the design are terrible. So now, if you look at his waistline from season 1 to like season 2, it's insane. It's how much smaller he has gotten. Like he literally right now has like a girl's waist. I think it's like he's safely like 60 centimeters, like at that level. Otherwise, with the 5 layers of costume, he's not gonna look like this tiny, but he is. So he looks better in this season, yes. Like in terms of like being prettier boy. Okay, give that. And the actor who played Yan Bingyun, I actually like him because he was in 人世间, the Lei Jiaying drama a couple of years ago from iQIYI, where he played his son. He's a pretty good actor, young actor. He also has played some really serious dramas, like the proper type of dramas. He's a pretty good actor, and he can do his own lines. I mean, I have to give that. But he doesn't have that much screen time either, right? So far, you know, not that important. Other things, I don't know. Like, I can't say much. You know, for this type of drama, it's a given that the female characters are just not gonna be that essential, and they're pretty much just like ornament to the male lead. So like what yeah, it's just like before, right? Jin Chen is now taking place of the previous Ye Ling-er, so they changed the actress. So Yan Bingyun got changed. The Ye Ling-er character got changed. Jin Chen just, a problem with Jin Chen is she doesn't fit, right? She looks like she doesn't belong to ancient time because her face physically cannot exist in ancient time. It's like when you look at her face, you know it's been done with this and that. It's just like 21st century technology face, and you know when it's putting a period drama, it's odd. Like your brain is just not gonna compute it, no matter how hard you're trying. It's not necessarily sort of uncanny valley, but it's like similar to that kind of. It's like, yeah, that's a 21st century technology phase that cannot exist in the time where there's no electricity. You know, your brain knows that, and you cannot unwrite that programming. We've lived through the time, right? It's just, she's weird. Like she doesn't belong, right? So she shows up and be like, yeah, but you don't belong to the same layer as everyone else. It's weird. And yeah, but that's again non-essential, because for this story, who cares who the girls are? They're just like, they're dressing up the same for male leads to have all the funs of I'm the king of the world, but who cares really? So the last bit part is like the I'm the king of the world. So Fan Xian, you know, and then all the guys, the emperor, his multiple dads, all the officials, all the princes. Now the whole court politics and power thing. First is this is a Qilian, like that type of novel, so it's all fantasy and it's nothing to do with real politics, right? And then I guess like all the guys, the male characters, the crown prince, the second prince, third prince, the father, right? All those like royal imperial blood, the princesses. The thing with them is, I think when you watch this, particularly the second season, you get a feeling is they are trying to present this whole Game of Thrones as a cool, fun, interesting, worth watching. You are supposed to feel you should be interested in it as an audience type of spectacle thing. So all the characters are portrayed in a way that they are in the game. They may not be willingly, but then they still are playing it, and then to some level they're still enjoying it. The whole who is gonna win at the end, and what, you know, like at the cost of like other people's lives, all that. But from my point of view, I don't know, like I don't know, after like 5 years from season 1, I'm just increasingly I don't give a shit to this type of story. It becomes, I know it's fictional, I know it's like looking like Chinese ancient time sort of period setting, but technically it's in the future. It's actually a sci-fi, you know, technically speaking, you know, this actually is in the future. It's just like, why should I care? It's like, yeah, emperor, okay, you are the bastard of the emperor. You have like 5 dads who are the most powerful men in the kingdom, and you're like a Long Ao Tian, whatever. Eventually you're gonna get everything, because otherwise why are we watching? And you're played by a really good actor, Zhang Ruiying, who happens to be quite charming to other people. Yes, okay, it's watchable, enjoyable, but ultimately, who gives a fuck? You know, and. And I just find, sometimes I look at I call it right on my Weibo. I call it this is a game of a group of men who feel so good about themselves for whatever reason from age 30 to 60, something like that, right? Maybe 25 to 60. It's like a group of men who are or like born with like whatever blood, and they're like from 25 to 60, and they're just like all trying to kill each other to get to the top of the whatever, like power of your world. And like, so why should I care? Like, what's the interest for me? I just realized this type of story is just like, I don't give about who wins or whatever, and your justice or what is good and bad and what value you like. It's all fictional anyway, and it's just like so. It's so double standard within the story itself, and I don't care. Like the male lead is, well, like he's like, I am advocate of my mother's value, which is everybody is equal, and you're trying to do that in a like imperial society that hasn't even invented electricity. I'm like, yeah, good luck, okay? And then he is so double standard, or the whole story. It's not the character. It's the story is double standard, which is, it constantly says our male lead is the special guy who's like believing in the equality of human beings and whatever, right? He doesn't buy into the whole imperial system thing because he doesn't come from there. On the other hand, everything he does and every victory he gets, right, and all the plot that makes people exciting about the story, the 爽 part, is because he's special. It's because he is the special class. He has the blood. He has whatever. He's 人上人. He's he wins because he belongs to the super class, and he has powers and resources that other people don't have. So he's constantly saying everything should be equal. On the other hand, everything he gets is because he's privileged, right? It's just so, like, I mean, 精分. It's like schizophrenia within yourself. It's like, okay, yeah, I advocate this, but by doing, like, getting what I want, I'll actually do the complete opposite to get what I, like, what the heck? Like, yeah, it's just, I can't deal with that logic. It's too, incomprehensible, and it's inconsistent, and I'm like, what am I trying to think about this? And I find it so silly. Like the Crown Prince, the second prince so far, right? All their like acting, like not the actor, the characters acting is like playing the roles and playing the politics games and performing to their father emperor, and performing to power, and I don't know, like the drama is trying to make it look, I don't know, in a way cool, sexy. Is on one hand, I pretend to be cute and adorable. On the other hand, I turn around and just murder like 20 people in 1 second without blinking. Like somehow that's like just really cool to watch. I guess we have to just accept that's just like, what, imperial power? It's like, I get to the point after 5 years, like after first seasons, like this whole thing is, I mean, I'm a 2024 person. I should not care about these things. These things should not even exist in my mind landscape. Who gives what these men are doing? They're just all monsters. They're like in the stories. They're all just terrible people. That the world will be better if the world is completely rid of them. Like I don't care about the struggles between you people because you're all just crap. And I don't know, I can't get into the story. I just find it's disgusting in a way. Like that whole power play, you get a feeling that the writer, whenever they enjoying writing this whole thing of people smiling and murdering each other, like I'm so happily killing you. Be grateful. Like I don't know. Yeah, people get off on that, but on the other hand, it's like I can't. I watch this and I find it's just like, oh no. It's like, why am I? Why? I don't know. Am I supposed to like feel like this is a good story? I'm like, I know. It makes me feel it's like something is like this. It's like get it like away from me, you know? It's quite gross. It's quite gross. Like the whole pool of crap. I'm like, I don't want to get into. I don't want to even. I don't care who's better a little bit than the other, who's clever in the whole thing. You know how epic a thing you've done is. Like you're all in the cesspool. It's all just shit. You may be less shit-er than the other, but it's still shit, and like it's just. I watch this drama. I have the feeling I don't want to. I don't want to have any contact with that whole like world of stories. Like I don't. It's just so. I have no words to describe what it feels like, but I just don't enjoying it. I look at all those so-called politics, and it's all dressed under this like comedy, you know, lighten it up. But I'm like, oh my god, everything is so disgusting. Everything that happens in this story, whether it's from the good guys or the bad guys of what they do, right? They're all just disgusting. Well, Game of Thrones, right? It's at least like it's a fantasy, but like it's like medieval, you know, it's European history. You can see all that, and in a way, I think because it's not really having fun. You know, like you watch Joy of Life, and the way they talk about how people just gets like dealt with, get rid of, whether it's like just a farmer or like a random stranger or like assassins somebody has, like they have 100 trained assassin, or it's a prince, right? Whoever, it's like if you look at Game of Thrones, it doesn't have that much of a fun aspect. It's like nobody actually really enjoy. Like it's not written from the perspective of let's have fun. Whereas Joy of Life has this strong sense of let's murder and have fun. There's like murder, yes, you can murder your political enemies, but also like get rid of, like in the process, just like happen to have casualties who have nothing to do with it, and is like in the numbers of hundreds, and then it's just, well, necessary for the plot, move on. It's like let's have fun with murder. It's like literally enjoying that whole aspect of within our power struggle, how many people we can kill, like intentionally or unintentionally. It has that sense of this is the part you want. Audiences, you want this, so I give it to you, and I crank it up to maximum, and I just like have fun. Right? It has so much sadistic pleasure in the whole game of I am cleverer than you. I just find it really ew. Oh, ew. It's my reaction is like it's pathetic that humans have to gone through that in real history, right? And like when you look at history of how many this type of things happen, and you can always find some kind of very honestly practical and realistic reasons for these things to happen. When you live at a time where you have no science, you have no technology, you have very limited productivity from land, from everything, it's like if you don't do it this way, you die. Or it's like human society can only function with that kind of unjust, but then a structure that somehow that can move it along. Otherwise, we're all just gonna die. So it's like, it's pathetic, it's sad, but it's like you have no choice. Like, this is what you have, you know? There's only that many crop you can grow, and the season is only that long. You have only that much sun if you're stuck to that part of the earth, and then, you know, it ends up like the only political workable structure can be that. And as as things develop and people break through sort of energy, how we can harvest, and then ways of life change. But it's not like people have fun, and if they have a choice, they would like and prefer that type of living. Historically, right? When you look at human history, how power gets like structured. It's just like you. Life is like a struggle of survival, and it's just not that romantic and pretty. And while things are brutal in history, on the other hand, it's like, if it's not necessary, right, we would have pick other ways of doing it. It's just sometimes it's just like you don't have better choices. But for dramas like Joy of Life, you have a feeling of like they literally just enjoying doing that. I have a sense of they just have so much fun, and it's like it's quite sadistic. It does not make sense, honestly speaking. It's fantasy, right? It's fantasy. It's that sort of whole writer's web novel guy genre web novels thing of all the pretty women are mine to take. The guy always wins. He comes from humble background, but he has the best blood ever, and then he's just gonna get everything. He's gonna get power. He's gonna get armies. He's gonna sit on the throne. He's gonna get all the most pretty whatever women in the world, and it's just so childish and silly when you think about the premise of the whole story, right? What it's based on, and no matter how you try to adapt it, because it's built on that base, so it's always, you can't actually reasonably reason it away, and it just ends up being, it's like today, 2024, I'm like, I'm not an audience for that. It's just so, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But when I watch this drama, I'm like, yeah, constantly I'm like, I don't want to see this. It's just overall, it's just so. It's like some kind of really greasy food that's kind of gone rancid under the baking sun for too long, and you don't even want to get close to it. The stench that comes out of this type of story. And 女频and 男频 have different ways of doing it, right? And I recently read an article about why 男频, so the male web novels, tend to give you 龙傲天 kind of character, a guy who gets everything, and they're fairly apologetic about getting to their power, and they always wins, and step by step over the journey they climb higher and higher and get everything. While on the 女频 end, the often popular genre for the past how many years would be the harder you torture the lead female character, the more popular it gets. Or self-torture. It's either you make the world torture her, or she tortures herself. And the harder it gets, the sort of like, the audiences are more excited. And why that is the case, right? I read an article about like sort of the whole gender role in history, and how it reflects out in this way of the male web novels and the female web novels, and what type of archetypical characters and story they set up to, and what gets, like, why the audiences, the readers want this type of story, what kind of things it satisfy them. So it's basically saying whatever you cannot get in real life, right, you want it to get overcompensated in novel land, in web novel land. So it creates the typically popular type of female readership story and male readership story. So whatever guys in real life today, males, that is impossible and hard for them to get, you wouldn't let them get it in their novel land. Again, for females, same thing. For women, whatever is the hard, actual impossible to get hard things for them to get in today's world, you will overcompensate them with stories that satisfy that. That's why it will end up having very typical type of stories that will do very well on these websites, because it appeals to the largest demographic sort of psychological sort of compensation need. And therefore it creates the archetypical male successful story and the female story, not because they are the things that the two genders, you know, like honestly realistically desire, but it's the thing that they can get. And no matter how hard they work in real life, they actually cannot get. Within our current society structure, impossible to actually get. Therefore, they seek for that. And the reason why female novels, when it gets popular, often it's the highly torturous ones, is because I think the argument is really interesting. It's not that in contemporary world, women cannot get what men can get. Like, to an extent, it's possible for women to get very similar things that very successful males can get too. But there's one type of thing that even when you're super successful female, you don't automatically get granted. And it's not even necessarily something that's gonna do you any good. But just because you cannot get it, therefore you want it. And that's the type of getting recognized on default by the system as equal or as the herd people. Like women, right? In real world, often that they just don't get heard. Like they're ignored completely in a way. Their needs or the recognition from the society, from, for example, father, right, from parents, or from the higher whatever social structure you're in. Just because you're a woman, if you're like equal to everything like a guy is, but the guy would automatically get granted with certain type of recognition as a part of the system, whereas you, even when you're super successful by any standard of means, the system still doesn't look at you as you are within it, or you're automatically or by default a part of it. So you're looking for that type of, you're not looking for I will earn more money than you, or I'll have a higher position than you, or whatever. You're looking for that the whole system actually just acknowledge that you are just as a male. So the whole sort of looking for the system's recognition and is more important than actually getting the thing. It's like you can be sitting on the throne and be the ruler of the kingdom, but if the system still doesn't recognize you as, then you're still not satisfied. And because women just don't get recognized in a way, so by default, as men are, no matter how hard you try, and even when you are super successful by any hard standard, the society still doesn't view you. It doesn't automatically grant you. And it doesn't even, without a question, just say you are a part. Therefore, you're just always seeking for that approval. And it's not necessarily you care about what they think of you, but it's just because it's something you don't get, therefore you want, right? So that's why a lot of female sort of like web novel websites have those popular genre written, which is eventually it's all about that whole self-torturing thing. It is about trying to get approval, right? Proving themselves constantly. And the whole sort of women needs to prove, and then the man needs to, and the man on the other hand is like, by the hard standard of the society, if you don't get, right, if you're not like muscle powerful, big, if you're not money wise, if you don't have high sort of whatever social position, then you're a failure. Then you're a failure, right? And it's so hard for any average guy to just get it, right? It's not that they need any by default recognition as the system's player, but it's like if you are not good enough, then you're nothing. So for male, right, audiences and readers, they just want the Long Ao Tian story, because that's again something impossible for them to get. And like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. So in a way, when you look at all those web novels, why all the female web novel sites have those type of novels, you know, like I rant about like what the heck is the story, but now when I think about it, is the reason those novels got popular is not because it makes sense, but because it compensates that need. It's like for this particular gender, right? Most people actually need this and they want this. They're not consciously aware of it, but because they don't get it in real life, so they get it in the novel end, and therefore this type of novel gets popular. And male is the same. That's why you have like very weird but very clear sort of type of stories and characters in the 男频 and 女频, because it appeals to that lacking of the demographics of the people. So you go there not to actually get educated. You go there to get satisfied, right? Get that hole in your heart filled in the fantasy land. And yeah, that's pretty interesting. I think it makes a lot of sense when you think about that. So yeah. Weird, isn't it? I don't even know what I'm saying. It's hard. It's the type of thing you have to sit down, look at a computer screen, think about your wording, and actually write an essay about. Not like talking like this. It's like the language doesn't. It cannot be worked out right now, like on the spot. But I kind of like when I was reading that article, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. And I'm vaguely just saying it here. But if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, just like ignore that. It has nothing to do with joy of life, but. Maybe that's why, like, I watch some drama and I'm like, I cannot feel anything. I don't empathize. I find the story is like not connecting to me. I don't care. Honestly, like Fan Xian, right? He so what? He climbs to the top of like eventually whatever. This fantasy world. What does it matter? I don't know. I found it on the internet. I was like scrolling on social media. I don't know if I can find it again. If I do, it's in Chinese. Somebody just like typed it out on social media about the sort of the analysis of the archetypical 男频 and 女频 web novel, what they are and why they are the way it is, and why a particular type just gets popular. Yeah, 男频女频. It's a very because Chinese web novels is a huge thing, right? Not everywhere is the same, I think, but Chinese particular web novels. So 晋江 and 起点, right? 晋江 is the female readers sort of like novel hub, and 起点 is more the male, and so you create very typical story. So for the male typical story, it would be like Joy of Life. It would be like 大风打更人, like the Wang Hedi drama that hasn't come out yet. That type of drama, or even like whatever, all those like sort of the male lead getting to the top of the world type of story, right? It would be that very typical thing. And then on the 女频 end, very typically like 东宫 or the Goodbye My Princess, or even 知否知否, right? That type of story. It's quite interesting. The thing is, like, to me, these things, I don't think about them because I don't read web novels, so I have no idea which type of web novel is popular, right, in China on the male or the female sort of like oriented sides, because I don't read them anyway. I find this a waste of life because web novels they're just so untrimmed. They often like they get put out every day, thousands of characters, and the author just has time to type it out. They don't have time to edit, really, to think through it. It's very unworked. It hasn't been like polished at all, right? It's just completely rough material, just got chucked out constantly and filled with grammatical and Chinese spelling mistakes, and it's just like I can't read that. Also, like, they're all often presented, right, if it's in digital form, it's like reading on a screen is just not very fun, honestly speaking. And then when they're on like on computer, laptop, like whatever screen, often you're interrupted by all the colors and ads going on around, and ugly layout and pathetic look of fonts choices. It's just aesthetically extremely hurting. So that's why I don't read web novels. Is often it's just so ugly to look at. I know I'm weird. I hate ugly things. So I can't look at a presentation of a web novel that is so ugly in its color, layout, font, and filled with 错别字. And I'm like, no, I can't look at this. It's like my mental peace is disturbed by this ugly thing. So that's why I don't read web novels. It's very hard for me to read web novels. Unless they're completely finished, re-edited, and actually published into a book form. It's almost impossible for me to actually read digital text and enjoying it. It's just so ugly, often to me. So joy of life so far is like what it makes me feel. I know I've spent so much time talking about whatever other things, but I don't know. I probably will still stick to the end 36th episode season 2, but I don't think I'm gonna enjoying it, honestly speaking. If John Ring can perform a couple of scenes like with good performance, I'd be happy. I think that would have done it, and I wouldn't. It's enough for me. For the rest, I just, this type of story is I'd rather looking at a million other things than this. It's too much. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 大风打更人, yeah, it's a novel and it's super long. Okay, it's super long. So if you're reading the novel, it's unlikely if you're not super Chinese reader, which is like look at one page with one look and you can like get 80% and you flip to the next page. If you can't read it that way, you can't read the novel. It's like 8 million characters. I can't even remember how many, but it's insanity long. That's like 大风打更人, Guardian of Dafeng. Second, I do have a friend who actually read through the whole novel for me. Not for me. She read it for liking Wang Hedi. So she wants to know what the story is. She literally read through the whole thing. And she's like, this needs some serious adaptation. Otherwise, it will never show up on China's screen. Because it's the nicest story. All the girls are used as things. Like, think about that. Your male lead is just thinning every woman he comes across. That's gonna make it very popular, okay? So when they adapt the screenplay, they will have to change everything. But basically, it's another typical Nanping story where all the pretty women are containers. Okay? And funny is once it gets made into a drama, 70% of the audiences will be female. Huh? So if you don't adapt it, good luck with the containers. Oh, heavens. Under the Skin, I don't hope for it either. Actors are eventually speaking, if they have no control of the script, if it's not an actual powerful actor creator. It's like sometimes really like certain actors are directors and writers too. If they cannot control the script, whoever they are, it's not gonna do anything. Basically, if it's a good or bad story, they cannot do anything about it. Right? They can do a good job as actor, but if on script level, it's not lined up well, then it's not lined up well. They cannot magically make it good, right? So I have pretty much no hope for a second season of Under the Skin. Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't end up too badly. Like that's my best hope is it doesn't completely crash. I don't hope it to be a masterpiece. With all the dramas I've seen on its back end, when it's been made, it's unlikely to have a really good written quality. You need to expect some unreasonable miracle for it, really. Yes, Lost You Forever. with the Lan Wangji profile picture, you're right. There was a murder involved in Three Body. Real murder. The guy who owns the game company that bought all the adaptation rights of Three Body within China. Before he could see the thing actually got made eventually into drama, he got poisoned by one of his longtime business partner in his company and died. And it's like really, 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 really detective novel level crazy stuff that happened in reality. So there's this guy called Lin Qi, who's already dead now. He's a legend in a way that he's just like nobody who through his blind luck and also I guess talent at business, he owns this game company that got really big, and he is a huge sci-fi fan. So he bought the adaptation rights of Three Body. So Three Body is under their company's sort of like ownership in terms of getting adapted, but this guy had a longtime business partner who works as his, I can't remember, CFO or something under him, but like one of those high executive management of the company. They've had years of knowing each other, but at a certain point something fell out. They had huge problems, and there's this whole thing about he might be firing this guy or whatever, and this guy just like years of friendship plus like business relationship turned sour, and this guy poisoned his drink or water or some tea or whatever, like in his office. Like, and for a long time, it's not like one dose. It's like over time, low dose of a poison until eventually get to the point where the guy got so much poison that couldn't be saved. He died, and it's pretty quickly broken, the case. Because it wasn't that hard. Like, this is not like spy killing spy, right? It's like a normal human who just got so angry that they poisoned their business partner. So this guy got murdered before the drama ever got made. So he never saw Three Body got made into a drama. It's pretty famous. You should go and search his name, Lin Qi. Lin. You know, like Lin Shu in Nirvana, you know, 2 wood. Qi is special. Qi is a surprise. That character, Lin Qi. Just search his name, you'll find it. Lin Qi, Three Body, murder, poison. You'll find it probably. It's a real thing that happened to this guy. He's pretty young, I think. It's like 40s in his whatever who got poisoned and murdered. Not so long ago. It's a famous thing in China. We're talking about real murder. Not, you know, it's not necessarily it has anything to do with Three Body, but this guy owns, right, the rights. His company owns, they bought the rights. So, that's real world, business world thing. Yeah, we live in a crazy world. Talking about crazy, right? Right now the world is crazy. Look at weather, it's crazy. Look at geopolitics, it's crazy. It's like every day you're on the brink of WW3. You just don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's looking like everything is gonna happen. You know, recently, if you're following, you know what happened, right? Middle East, you know what's going on, like the incredible, and also like in Asia, like those incredible things are like, really? Why does it start to look more and more like the beginning of WW1 and WW2? You know, a couple of famous murder, assassin, and the things happened, right? Before it all just went tits up. And you're like, hey, now we're looking at a couple of things going on in the world that just looks exactly like that. And I don't know. Put that into perspective. Who cares about joy of life too? We may not have joy of life at all now, like for all of us, very shortly. And then, who gives a shit to joy of life too? Like, we have WW3. Yeah. So, yeah. Sometimes, like when I sleep, right, my brain, like just before you're falling asleep, or like just before you wake up, you have this weird zone where your brain is trying to integrate everything you've come across this day. What you've watched, what you've heard, what you've seen, the reality and also the fantasy world, the storytelling and what you've actually seen, like it all starts to mix. And sometimes during those moments I have those weird feelings. It's like, what the heck am, like, why am I here? What's the purpose of life? Why am I seeing all these things? And it's like, what is real, what is not, what the heck, what am I seeing? Like joy of life's people's face, like overlaid on top of, like, I don't know, Iranian president get murdered. Like it's all just messed together. And it's like, I don't know. Like I question about the whole existence of human beings. It gets to the point where, like, just in those couple of minutes when these moments overlap, it's like, what the fuck? Like I'm waking up to a world of what the heck. And you're like, yeah, somebody just got murdered, and then World War III may break out tomorrow, and I need to get up at 7 o'clock so that I can get ready for live streaming talking about Chinese drama. Everything is perfect. Ah, weird life. And then you think about, oh God, like, do I have to today? I remember I have to do that. Oh, I have to go to the bank to do the other things, and my order from that website hasn't arrived yet. I need to check about that. But then, you know, like, I haven't paid my tax, did I? Yes, I did. Like, you know, like, you're like, existence is weird. Yeah, we're talking about dramas. We're only talking about dramas. Who cares? You know, just keep us sane. Keep us sane. We look at insanity dramas so that we're sane. We're sane. Sorry about doing this to you. You're watching live stream. I have no idea what I'm doing. I may have confused you terribly. Ignore me. Ignore me. Ignore me. Oh. People are talking about Yang Mi. Nirvana Fire, I'm really, right now I'm just like, because last night, my 8-year-old edit on Bilibili of Nirvana Fire got taken down by iQIYI. Like, some of the best edits I've ever done for Nirvana Fire, I know it was famous because back in 2016 when I put out those edits, it was crazy. It was like 3 minutes edit getting like 4,000 live comments. And it's 2016 edits. It's been on Bilibili for 8 years. And last night, iQIYI took them down. I'm just so happy. I'm so deserving this. You know? Editors, like drama editors who do it for fun, for love, no money, spending our own time and energy, right? And just because we love something, this is how we get repaid, is we get our things taken down. And we have nothing we can do about. You know? We're just 贱人, right? We're just really 贱人. We're willingly becoming slaves, and I don't know. I guess I deserve it. I'm so pathetic, and I don't even get angry about these things anymore. I am so numb to it. You know what? I in the future, I would just like try not to edit Chinese dramas. And honestly, I don't think there will be that many Chinese dramas that will make me excited to edit them anyway. I haven't done that for more than a year. Last time I did it was for Oh No, Here Comes Trouble, and technically speaking, it's not a mainland drama. You know, you can argue that it's completely done by a crew and team that is not under the same umbrella of how Chinese dramas are usually produced anyway. So you don't even need to consider it as a typical Chinese drama anyway. So, it doesn't count. And then any mainland production, typical production from Tencent, iQIYI, Youku Mango, you know, I haven't had any arousal for the last year and a half. I felt nothing. Nothing moved me. So I didn't do any edits. I edited 3 edits for Queen of Tears, even though I know it's just so much trope. I can do that with my voice, in case you're wondering. You know, so it's like, who cares? You don't want me, I don't want you, I don't deserve you anyway. So maybe in the future I'll just stop editing anything for Chinese dramas. Why aren't I talking? I can do voice dubbing, you know, like go and check my videos. Some older videos on my Bilibili actually collect all the voice acting I've done. I can do Huafei, I can do Ruoxi, I can do Keira Knightley if I want to. I can do Mary from Downton Abbey. Good. You know, what can I say? It's just like I'm not a professional voice actor, but if I want to, I can be one. Huh. Interesting, isn't it? C'est la vie. And with like my edits, like like my edits for Morning Fire 1 and 2, they're really, really good. I know they're good, okay? And then people who have watched them know. And I cannot understand what's going on, but then it's iQIYI. It does not care. Right? It's 8 years old edits. It's not doing any harm to their stuff. And I guess they don't give a shit. Back then, when the drama was hot, how much the edit has done for them, it does not matter. They don't keep a record. They just come in and fuck you up however they want. So I'm like, I don't care, right? So from now on, I'm like, most Chinese dramas, even when I love them a lot, I probably wouldn't really want to edit them because I would assume they don't deserve my edit anyway. And then if I do, I'll hide them. I'll just like completely not using a thumbnail, not using a title, not using any tags so that nobody can find it, and just put it online randomly. So if you come across it, it's meant to be. If you don't deserve it. And you'll never be able to search it because it has nothing attached to it. It will have nothing. If it ever get to the point where I think the story is so good that I don't give a shit if they're gonna bite me when I edit it, then I'll do it that way. But only that way. You know? And then if I edit for other dramas or films, I will, if it's not Chinese, then I'll just, I'll make sure people know what it is. Otherwise, it's just like, go figure. Near Running Fire, no. The third one, they haven't even announced casting. And if they go into production, it's at least half a year. And then you need another probably close to a year of post-production. So you're not going to even see it next year, honestly speaking. Because right now there's no news on its casting yet. And it's already halfway 2024. So you're not even going to see it by the end of next year. It's not anytime soon. And I have 3. You know, not gonna happen. Yeah, and also recently I was watching a lot of other stuff that's not Chinese. So I guess like I said on my Weibo is if you're not watching a typical Chinese drama, you're watching anything else, right? Film or US televisions, like certain television series are really good. And then you watch those for a while and then you switch back to Chinese drama. It feels like jumping off a building. Being forced. Like literally it feels like you're being forced. You're being pushed over and you jump off a building. That's what it feels like. You know, like when I watch whatever American series or a film, and then I switch to Joy of Life 2. Wow. Wow. It's worse than cold plunge. It's like murder. Your system cannot adjust the level of difference. And it's very painful. Ha ha ha. Kind of waiting for Pearl Girl. I have no hope for any of those period idol dramas, honestly speaking. Pearl Girl, I'm also not hoping for it. Sorry about that. I have no confidence in these two acting to hold up a drama on their own in that way. I haven't watched What If because I've heard people telling me don't go and watch it. You'll get disappointed a lot. I'm like, okay. Another person told me, have you watched Reblooming Blue? I was like, no. They're like, oh, how sad. I'm like, what? Is it good? I missed something? And they're like, no. Which I just want to hear you rant. But if you haven't watched it, I guess you can't rant. I'm like, oh, it's that bad? So maybe I just wouldn't be clicking it open, I guess. I know the drama, Zhou Yumin gets dubbed, so I don't really want to watch him being dubbed. I know him, like, I know his voice too well because of the, like, all the dramas I've watched him in the past. In Taiwan, like, idol drama land, right? And Zhou Yumin's voice is too easy for me to recognize. If he opens his mouth and it doesn't sound like him, I get freaked out. Like, my brain is like, this is weird. I can't watch this. So I know he's dubbed, so I probably wouldn't be able to watch it, honestly speaking. Tender Light. I watched a little bit. Completely don't get it. Okay, for Tender Light. I'm gonna, if you are Zhang Xincheng or Tong Yao fan, you're not gonna like me saying this. But to me, my brain wiring, this is how I perceive it. These two people, the actor and actresses, they are to me completely innate. They have no sexual attractiveness to me as a straight woman. The guy and the woman, right? They don't appeal to me at all. They completely miss my target. It's like they fire bullets at me, they don't hit anywhere. They don't even scratch. And Zhang Xincheng is a man who does not appeal to me at all. He's completely, like, does not react. It's like gold dropped into water and it will stay there for eternity. There's no reaction going on, chemical, at all. Zilch. Nothing. Tong Yao to me is also a woman. Like certain, like, you know, women don't appeal to me in that way. But certain women, I'm like, oh, sexual power. Like, they stand there and I understand why people get just attracted to them. It's like they're like vortex. They're pulling people in. They have so much pull. And Tong Yao to me is zero. So this drama, I feel like the story, at least from the onset of how the story is gonna work, is it needs to be a story where you have to hard sell that this woman and this young man, the moment they see each other, the moment they show up in the same frame, you have to see this going on. If it's not there, the story will not work, no matter what you do. Okay? And you just have to pick the right actors who can work that out. And some people don't. Some people have. You can't force it. To me, unfortunately, a story that's so heavy on, like, Tender Light, that's so completely based on that thing working between the male and the female lead character does not exist at all. No matter how you film it. You use whatever crazy shallow depths of field lens, you blow slow motion air into their face, you have the sweat dropping, you have all those intimate shots of their hair standing on their skin, of their collarbones, of the sweat coming down. It's like you so want to make it sexually attractive, but I'm like, I feel like if I'm kneading a dough and making a bread, like the bread looks sexier than you. not gonna work on me. So that drama I've watched up to episode 10 or something. The only sexy guy in that is the policeman. Okay? 石爷 from from Scarlet Heart. Do you still remember 步步惊心石爷, right? The actor. He's older now, but he's gotten a lot better looking over the years. He's the only guy I find interesting in close-up. And I look at Zhang Xinchen, I feel nothing. And then I look at Tong Yao, I feel nothing. And these two, when they're together, there's even more nothing going on. Like, it does not sell it to me. Like, you tell me these two are attracted to each other. Where did you find that? Like, I microscope it, and I can't see anything. There's zero chemistry. Oh my god, there's like, some people just don't have sex appeal. Okay, that's it. It's not wrong. It's just it does not have it, or it's like, to me, it does not work. There might be other people, very likely, that their brain chemistry and their wiring is like completely working with it. Oh, great for you, because you can watch it. I cannot. I try very, very hard. And Zhang Xincheng, over the years, I've seen everything pretty much he's in. Everything, his dramas. I've tried every drama he's played, like a lead or whatever supporting role in, and it never worked once on me. It's like he has no sex appeal to me at all. Completely zero. He's the most zero guy in the entirety of Chinese dramaland. I don't know. It may just be my brain has never had like a wiring of understanding this guy. Like, his signals completely misses me. I can't get anything. So I watched Zhang Xincheng act, and I'm like, logically he's not a bad actor, but like emotionally, and like on the other half of my brain, I can't find anything. I can't. I know it's just me. I can't change it. It's just me. And for this tender light story, right? If this whole thing does not work, then the story does not work. So I watch it, I'm like, I completely don't get it. So I can't keep watching. I quit. It's a pretty sort of like production quality, pretty nicely done, very pretty drama, you know, like the look of it and stuff. But I only find the policeman attractive. But I can't keep watching because the main characters is just so nothing going on. And I know it's totally personal. It's totally personal, because I've seen people who actually think I've known people online or for years that they're a huge Zhang Xincheng fan, and they find him absolutely attractive, which is, I find that's also very, very fascinating, because that means that person has a completely reception channel, completely different than I do. And they're completely getting him, and I completely miss him. And like, I wish there's a way to actually, I don't know, like turn the brain out, like how it works, and figure out what is that particular neuron connection that will make it reads like he is really appealing to you and completely not appealing to me. Like, where's that where did that divert? Like, why? Sometimes I feel like I just want to figure that out. It's like, how does that work? Why? Isn't that fascinating? And it's just all impossible to know. It's in the black box of your brain, and you can't know why you feel that way. You just feel that way, and you can't even change it. And no matter how much you try it, you don't even have a way to change it, right? You don't know how to do it. I'm just like, can we experiment in a way? Is like, this guy just doesn't appeal to me at all, and can I make myself somehow think differently? At least over the years, I've tried a lot. I couldn't do it. And I'm so curious. What is the thing? What is it? Why? Can we just like? I'm more curious about how that works than actually, you know, if this guy is appealing to me or not. It's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Weird. It's really weird. It's like the fascinating things about. like certain people, they're not pretty by any normal standard of just like humans sort of judging if you're good looking or not, but they're so appealing. You know, the actor Jiang Qiming, I would put him in that category. The guy who is in what Ala Tai to the Wonder and last year's Long Season. He played the mute guy in Long Season, and he played the bad guy in To the Wonder. You can't say he's very good looking. Like he's not. Like if he's walking on the street, he's just like an average Asian guy, and with very actually typical Asian features. And by Chinese people's standard, you wouldn't call him good looking. But he's such an appealing actor. He like when he looks at the camera lens, like you look at him through the lens and you're like, you get pulled by this guy. He drags you, like he immediately captures your attention and he starts to pull you. And it's not like he's good looking, therefore he pulls you in. It's like you feel there's something going on behind those eyes, and there's story behind. You're curious. You immediately like being captured by him. And Zhang Xinchen is the opposite. It's like he has a pretty face, but it's like looking at him is not so different from looking at a pretty stone carving or wooden statue. It's like aesthetically pretty, but you're just gonna walk by, you know? Take a picture maybe with your phone, and it's like, wow, great art. You're not curious about the person. But Jiang Qiming is like, he's not that good looking, but it's like, oh my god, I wonder what he's gonna say next. Weird. It's that thing. It's yeah. No, I don't think it's soft or masculine. It has nothing to do with the physical. Zhang Xinchen is not soft. He's a gymnastic person. Like he can do crazy somersaults. Like he's very strong. It has nothing to do with physical. Like it's not because face is pretty or muscle is there. It's just it's beyond the looks. It's that thing going on. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Some people are just so attractive. Like they have the aura that's like Pluto. Maybe it's a Pluto. We need to look at the chart and see where the Pluto is sitting. But I don't, so weird. That's why Tenderlight doesn't work on me. I did watch it a bit, and like I don't even remember it exists. That's like how my brain doesn't process it. And then if you're watching, like I said at the beginning of this video, highly recommend you check out Heroes a little bit. 天行健. It's not the best, and it doesn't have equal weight on the three main leads. I don't particularly care about the Liu Yuning and Peng Hanchen storyline, but Qin Junjie is good. Very, very good. Yeah, and somebody was talking about the Pearl Girl, that's Liu Yuning and Zhao Lusi. Here I will quickly mention why I don't have quite a lot of trust or hope for a drama is Liu Yuning as an actor. He is very far from being a proper actor. He's very... Okay, he never got trained. He's not well equipped as an actor. And the only thing you can say is he's more harder working than a lot of completely irresponsible Liu Liang in China who don't do anything, who don't try to up their game at all, who does not try to improve in any aspects of their acting, and they've been doing it for years and they're completely lazy and pathetic. Now, in comparison to those people, he at least puts some work into it. You can tell over time he improves slowly, but it's not enough. And he's very far from, honestly speaking, holding down a story completely as the definitive lead who would take like 80% of screen time. If he's in an ensemble drama where he only takes about a third of it, maybe, but if he is holding it down completely on himself, he's not yet equipped as an actor. He's not trained well enough. He's never been trained in acting. And he's lacking tools, experiences, tools, and understandings. And he's not the wildly talented people who like almost you don't need any training and you just know how to act. There are people like that. He's not one of them. So that's why I say if it's a completely on him idol drama where he's the lead fully, it can be quite problematic if it's not helped by a very strong script and then a very capable opposite actor who would be able to help him do better. Like you cannot honestly hope that task can fall onto Zhao Lusi. For Zhao Lusi and Liu Yuning to lead as the leads, I don't know who is going to pull who down, but I also cannot quite picture who is going to pull who up, because asking for too much, right? That's the situation. I don't see the potential of that ever being able to happen. Okay? It's way beyond their ability. Journey to Love, first like before the ending, the script is solid enough. Also, it has a fairly strong ensemble element in it. Yes, these two are definitive leads, but then when you think about it, right, there are many very useful and good supporting roles. That takes the screen time, makes the story forward, takes the load off them. I mean, honestly, Journey to Love, right now when I think back on it, still my favorite character is the princess. I don't quite give a shit to the other characters at the end of it because they're all kind of like flopped in a way, but she at least is the best thing. And I love her as a character in the drama, and she's the one that leaves the strongest impression till now, after half a year. I honestly say, Journey to Love, most successful character is the princess, not anyone else. To me, that's the case. Liu Yuning, I think, did a good enough job, but for a lot is help of the story. Like the story is good enough so that he can hold up to there. And also, it's not a typical idol drama. Journey to Love is not a typical idol drama. Therefore, it doesn't have a typical idol drama setting of a male lead that has to function in that very exclusively time-occupying way. If it's like the Pearl Girl, which I assume will be very, very exclusively male lead and female lead story, I don't know if he can do it. So, he probably will sing the title song. and probably the music will be pretty good from that drama because he has a lot of music world friend. Like that's one thing you probably can guarantee of Pearl Girl is that the music is gonna be good. But anything else, I don't know. I honestly cannot say, because if I look at Heroes, where he's leading it with Qin Junjie and Pang Hanchen, the ongoing one hasn't finished, I'm watching on iQIYI and Tencent, you can really tell when this drama is not on him, his one of the leads not the most important one, and then when he's compared to a properly sort of like always been an actor and who's had a lot of proper actor working experience, in comparison, similar age group actors, immediately you see 断层. It's like they're on different levels of acting. I'm comparing Qin Junjie and Liu Yuning in 天行健. It's so obvious. It's like in your face obvious. Okay, in terms of abilities as actors. So, for him to hold up a completely focused on lead couple idol drama, I don't know. I wouldn't really bet my money on it. That's just very, very honest. Why Love Live Tree it hasn't aired, right? Because Liang Jie just finished the drama airing with Hu Yitie. That's a remake of a Korean drama, is it? I haven't watched it. I think I watched it one episode and then I stopped and I haven't. And I heard nobody is like I got no news from anybody watching it. I have no idea if it's good. the 梁杰胡一天 one that just finished airing on iQIYI, I think. 40 episodes contemporary romantic drama. I was scared about the number of episodes, and so I didn't continue. Was it good? Anybody watched it? 梁杰胡一天. Like, is it good? Or like, I have no idea. I haven't heard anybody on my social media feed that I watch who watch dramas, who review dramas. No drama reviewers has talked about this drama at all. It's like no news at all. Is it good in any way? Let me know. Okay, it's not good then. Okay. It's 40 episodes, so the number scared me off. Literally. I'm like, contemporary drama, 2 people, 40 episodes? What can you do with that? Like what? Like at the end of it, they went to the moon? Like, how much plot can you cram into that? Okay, thank you for letting me know. I guess I don't need to waste my life then. Yeah, nobody is watching it. That's why I haven't even heard about it. I forgot about its existence. Huh? You know, like for these type of dramas, it's like, yeah, script is not good, then it's not good. Now, we're 11:30. If you watch other dramas, if you haven't watched one, I really want to recommend a recent one. I just watched it on Apple. I think it's April drama. It started April. It's only 8 episodes. Each episode is like 30 minutes. So it's technically speaking like a 4-hour drama. Super short. But it's pretty good. I talked to a friend of mine on Discord yesterday and I recommended it to them. Sugar. Cute title. It's just called Sugar. I really liked it. I would recommend people check it out. I wouldn't spoil it for you. It's a private investigator drama with a really weird twist, but it's I really love the drama's editing style, and because the lead character is a film buff, so they would reference old films, movies from golden ages of Hollywood, black and white. They would cut those movies into the drama scene, and it's always related to what's going on, and it has a really interesting editing style that you would never see in Chinese dramas, right? Unless somebody intentionally copies it. I don't see it spontaneously ever get to the point where they would be thinking, let's edit it in that way and see if it works. Camera work, some framing and decisions of how they move in the shot, and then how they connect it, and crossing different scenes, how they edit, where the people sit, different focal lengths, how they just play with the scene, and how it joins into the sort of classic movie thing, and how it, I don't know, I like it. It has style. It's called, like, they term it like modern noir. I wouldn't necessarily say it's that noir, but it's a very sexy drama. It's Sugar. Yeah, it's Sugar. And it's led by Colin Farrell. Like, who can honestly resist this guy? I'm just saying. I don't even know how it came to me. I think it was, I accidentally spotted it over something else, and I was like, I didn't know he's in the series, because he's in a lot of movies, right, in recent years, and I was like, he did a television series? Really? I was like, I have to go and check. Like, this guy, from day one, when he started film business, I was like watching everything he's been in, so I'm like, Colin Farrell in an Apple miniseries? Okay, I'll check it out. And then when I went in, I totally wasn't expecting, because I had no idea what it is. I just know he's in a suit and he's driving a really old vintage car, like in the poster, like type of thing. And it's like 8 episodes, short series, and it's good. It's unexpected. And again, I just find its editing and camera style, I guess for a change, because I watch so many normal dramas, right, from Chinese drama land, that's following this boring, I'd say, tradition of story. So basically, you don't even think about why you put the camera on the person this way, because everybody is doing it this way. And it's like, you do it, it's safe, it tells the story done. So Chinese dramas are all like that. Nobody really think about camera work or editing. Like, when they're making it, they're not thinking, for this particular story, are we going to design a particular language for our storytelling? Like, how we use the camera, how we use the editing? Are we going to do it slightly different than other people do it? And do we do it intentionally? How far do we Like there's no thinking behind that department at all. Chinese drama then these days produce dramas that don't think about that at all. And this drama, from first moment, you're gonna see it, and you know they're thinking about completely how to do it, so that they create their own style that is different from most of the other dramas. I highly recommend you check out Sugar. It's good. Also, it's just camera work is really, it's editing and camera work. Like, because I'm really sensitive to editing. So they edit normal talking scenes in a really peculiar way. I haven't seen people do that type of editing, honestly speaking, in any dramas. It will shock you sometimes if you're very sensitive to editing. You're like, oh, what did I just do? Like, did they just cut it that way? And then you even like go back and check like what, and then you're like, oh, they're editing it that way. How weird and fitting. It's like, it's so fitting for the vibe of this story that they pick a really weird way of editing, but I cannot spoil it for you. Go and check it out yourself. You will be very happy. If you like unexpected, but quite well made and personality thing. Like I said, if you think about a drama as a person, this drama is a person. It has a very specific personality that it's instantly its own. It's like, I am a person. I'm different from other persons. That type of thing. You don't see it in Chinese dramas at all. So it's like watching that right for a while and you feel, oh my God, I'm in a different world. And you jump back to joy of life. You're jumping off a building. That's what you feel like. Editing, Tianjin Mystic. I don't even remember Tianjin Mystic's editing. I have to go back and rewatch it. But Sugar is really different. It's like, it's if it's compared to Chinese dramas, it's completely different in its editing style. But it's really interesting. So I highly recommend you check it out. And then again, you know, if you like Colin Farrell, you should. If you like him, you should. He's very, very good in this drama. And it's a perfect role for him at this age. Oh, and if you are a fan of like the older movies he's done with the British director Martin McDonagh, the guy who did the 3 Billboards, like in Bruges. I think a lot of people have seen that movie, right? It's one of the most classic killer, like assassin movie of its own kind. Like nobody else do it the way they did it. If you like In Bruges, you're gonna like this. Okay, I'm telling you that. Like, who does not like that movie? I haven't yet come across one person who does not like that movie. If they haven't seen it, oh no. If they've seen it, they like it. Like, I haven't met a human being who has seen this movie and does not like it. Sometimes, yeah, I recently rewatched it and I'm like, oh my God, it's so good. 以前吃得太好了. It's like back in 2007 or 8, right? It's like, whoa. Like back then, movies are good still. Back then, movies are good. Now, I don't know. It's like, it hasn't been that long. You know, it's only been how many years? 16 years. And I mean, that director continuously put out really great work. He's a genius. So all his movies are very, very good. No problem. But I think back in the days in Bruges, it's like, it was so good. If you haven't seen it, somehow, like you're watching my live stream, somebody has already typed out the title. Go and find that movie. It's a 2007 movie. You're never gonna regret. Watch it. I don't see any human beings not liking it. Particularly if you like the way that British people. So, weird British humor and swearing words. Like, you're gonna like it too. It's... Yeah, that whole way of how they write dialogues is just brilliant. How the Olympics will affect summer dramas either. I don't think it's gonna affect anything. First is the Olympics gonna happen normally? I don't even know. This time? It's like, is it gonna happen for real? I know it's gonna happen, but somehow everybody is like, doesn't even believe it's gonna happen. Like, we have this weird feeling of, is it really gonna happen? And when it happens, anybody would be caring about it? Because apparently, even when there's Olympic Games going on, some people decide that we're still gonna fight each other and have the war. Like, technically speaking, you're not supposed to do it. It's like the last thing that humans are trying to hold up desperately. Like something we put there to just like trying to prove that we are humans after all. But look at the pathetic world we're living in right now. It's like people are like, we don't care. You can have your Olympic Games in Paris. We're gonna keep firing each other with missiles. I'm like, how positive. So, like, put that in perspective. Who cares about Chinese dramas? Honestly, I don't care. I'm a Chinese drama reviewer, and I'm saying I don't care. Because in perspective of Olympic Games and then shit going on in the world, Chinese dramas is like, who gives a shit? I don't give a shit. You probably shouldn't either. Maybe the world will end first. I doubt. Humans, yes, may. World will not. Planet Earth is going to be here for at least another 40 billion years. I'm just saying, for 4 billion years. Okay, 4 billion, 5 billion years. I mean, before the sun burns out and destroys everything. We still have like about 5 billion years for this planet. So, no, the world is not going to end. But for human society, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, it can end tomorrow. It does not matter. Squirrels, cockroaches, ferns are still gonna be here. Don't worry about that. As for us, summer dramas, I don't look forward to any. Whatever comes, I'll just watch it. If it's good enough, I'll just laugh at it and say, hey, that's good. That's how I treat Chinese dramas these days. Apparently they don't deserve my love overall, you know? If I love it too much, I'm just gonna burn myself, so I'm not gonna do it. Shogun. I heard it's good. I haven't. Not a huge fan of Japanese history to start with. So whether it's filmed by Japanese people or Americans, is like still not gonna really care about it. Sorry, I'm a Chinese. Okay, so I mean I know most of the important sort of historical things in Japan, but I never was a huge fan. If I want to look at big historical, I don't go to Japanese stuff to look at. Scale wise, it's just sorry about that, but most of the Japanese warring state stories are like head of village fight against another head of village in Chinese people's perspective, and it's like yeah, cool. It's not big enough for us, sorry. It's like everything you can do, we've done it 10 times more. So not quite interested in that. Yeah, and overall, I'm not a huge fan of a different culture. Kind of completely tells a story of a completely different culture. It's like it's always weird. Just leave it to their own people to do it. I guess also because I've seen a lot of NHS historicals, because they always do that, right? Over the Japanese annual huge historicals. I've seen a lot as I was growing up, different types, and I have an overall feeling of what, like, the type of, at least within Japanese people's perspective, what history looks like in their view, or how they perceive it as contemporary people, and I've seen a little bit of Shogun, like clips and stuff, and it's like good but weird, and good but really weird, and I don't know, like, if I have time, maybe, but like, the story is not the type of story I naturally orient towards, even just to like just I'm bored and I'm like looking for stuff, I wouldn't think about a Japanese general story to look at. You know, it's like the last genre I'd pick type of situation. I know it's going on. Somebody has recommended it to me actually, not so long ago. But I just couldn't bring myself. Like I'm not interested in it. So that one, yeah. What else? I don't know. Yeah, Chinese drama this year hasn't been very good. It's been boring, not exciting. Honestly, I'm just like, there's not even one good-looking sexy face to draw over, and it's just so sad. Sorry. You know, like I started to click open like older movies or whatever, like searching other like American television series just to I'm bored. I think also just because the Chinese drama and now, you know, all the so-called popular things, they're very hijacked by the fandom aesthetics of whatever things, whether it's for the female or the male, for the women and the men. It's everybody just has to look underaged, young, over-prettied, smooth skin, supple red lips, innocent eyes, in the muscly body but 18-year-old face, 13-year-old spirit, whether it's the woman or the man. It's like everybody just has to be unreasonably naive and innocent in a silly way. That's how I feel when I watch the Chinese dramas these days. Whether it's period drama or contemporary drama, it's just like the overall aesthetics is so on the, I don't know, like we're so scared of like having even one wrinkle. And so everything has to be beautified and dumbed down and also like aged down. Right, the guys also have to be like pretty, and it's like so boring. There's no hormone. There's no sex drive. Everybody is just like, you know what I mean? Everyone is a virgin in the storytelling. Like even when like they're fit, like they're mentally and physically and so innocent and pure, stupid. That's like what Chinese drama feels like these days. All the guys, all the girls, whatever the setup, the age, you know, contemporary, realistic, whatever fantasy, and CEO or I don't know, a prince of ancient time. Everybody is just so. I can't say the word. If you can read my lips. No sex appeal. They're also pure and no sex appeal. They're all skinny, they don't eat, and they don't at all. They're just so pretty. Yeah, I guess I just want a dirtier stuff. There's nothing dirty. It's just stupid. Stupid. I don't know. Yeah. I am definitely too old for that type of things. Yeah. And I feel it's just so stupid to look at a lot of actors and actresses who are, 25, 28, 30. So they're like after 25 to 30, even early 30s. They're physically at the age where when you ask them to play the innocent lover, it's just stupid. It does not sell. these people in real life, they probably have done all types of drugs. They've all types of people. They've had like a million love affairs, and they've seen all kinds of like illegal things, and you're still asking them to play the little white rabbit. Oh. It's very insulting. You know, when I watch it, it's like, come on. Now, I think there's this stupidity of, you know, like for all those high traffic people, they have a sizable fandom and tend to be overall underage, right? And then those younger fans, they're very underdeveloped. It's like there are a lot of giant babies in the fandoms of those people. What I mean is, whatever their actual age is, their psychological age is completely undeveloped to so many people. And there's this objectification going on from fandoms of their idols, which is they kind of like they in their mental projection of their idols, whether it's a woman or a man, they want to completely objectify them into a baby or into a furry animal. You know, the whole, not just Nisu, but Anisu is like trying to make them into a bunny, a dog, a cat, not even human. And you know, that whole psychological weird projection thing of, so obviously if you are a baby or a kitten, you're not supposed to understand what sex is. You're not supposed to have sex appeal. You're supposed to stay as a virgin forever. And weird, isn't it? But it's how that somehow has a higher value. Like the fandom, whether the overall is like, you average it out and people just have this weird obsession about having that pure image. You never do anything wrong. You are perfect. When you sing, you are never out of tune. When you act, your acting is perfect. When you cry, oh, your crying acting is explosive. And how could our Gogo姐姐ever even have a girlfriend or boyfriend? They don't understand what sex is. They don't understand what love is. Oh, they cannot possibly have that dirty desire. They are our pure angels. And they're a little fluffy bunny. You know, that's how fandom view these people. It's really psychotic. But, oh, I don't know, it makes money. It's really sadistic, you know, but it makes money. It's weird, but it makes money. I don't know, like keeping that innocent image is somehow preferable. And if my idol, like I'm a fandom leader, right? My idol is purer than your idol because he doesn't smoke. Or he doesn't have a girlfriend. Oh, he's 35 years old, but he's never had sex. He couldn't possibly understand what that is. Like, that is a better idol because he's purer than your dirty, crappy idol who is smoking and killing other humans. I don't know. That's how fandom works. I guess like pure objectification, you know, ends up like having that effect too. It's like all the fans, each of them want to have their own pure concubine. That's in their mental harem. That's their idol. I don't know. It's very twisted. Oh, there are so many people who think like that. It's weird. We live in a weird world. What can I say? I don't know. So anyway, those dramas, like you can't watch those things. It's like watch a 30-year-old playing innocent is so bizarre. It's like, in honesty, that person probably, when they were 13, they're, it's already done. And I'm like, what am I looking at? This is just so stupid. Asia has it more, right? Because yeah. And these days, even we're in the 2020s, honestly speaking, the overall sort of atmosphere of the society is actually going quite conventional and backward. Because I remember when I was little in the 90s, it's a lot more open. If you look at early 2000s, there's a really weird thing in China was around early 2000s, the dress code of China mainland is extremely skin exposure. It's like in summer on street, you see all the girls are like exposing back, shoulder, arms, short, super short, and even like translucent. And they're walking on the street and nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. It's like all the girls are like that in early 2000s in China. Because I lived through it, I know. People are so don't give a shit back then. And now you can't find any of that. You go to China street these days in summer, hottest day, like you barely see anybody exposing that much skin. They're either just all covered up, I don't know, like in the whole thing about I don't want to get tanned. But also, like, I think the whole sort of, like, atmosphere is going very conventional. It's like, it's so not as open as the 90s and early 2000s. China was, like, the openest to, like, 90s and early 2000s. You literally buy magazines that has, like, on the front of their page, printed in huge fonts, talking about what is homosexuality. Like, you can buy those type of magazines and they're just normal. Nobody gives a shit back then. I don't know what happened now. Like, BL is not allowed. Like, so history is weird. History is weird. It does not progress, apparently, linearly. So I guess, like, fandom also contributes to that whole... It's like the whole reinforcement, right? The value gets reinforced by people self-regulating themselves, and the whole thing of everybody has to be innocent and virgin. And you're expecting that from the most 玩的花, right, people in the whole world, which is in entertainment business. When left and right they look, they have the prettiest human beings at unlimited supply. Like, yeah, they're all virgins, believe me that. Oh god. The Lobster. That's another Colin Farrell movie, isn't it? I was like, did he poke his eyeball out for that movie? The last shot, last but one shot, right? Last shot was on a woman sitting in a diner. But it's like, I saw the shot of like the knife is like poking at eyeball. I'm like, "Ugh!" And it just ends there. We're totally off track. I don't know where I am. It's already 12. Okay, I'm gonna be here for another 15 minutes and I'll call it. Thank you for coming in today. And hear me talk about stuff that just ended up like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm in this weird mental state. I guess it's caused by watching, constantly jumping between what I consider to be at least proper productions and then I don't know what the heck is going on productions. And it's like icy cold and then super hot tub flipping, cold plunge, hot plunge, cold plunge, hot plunge, and I am completely irregulated mental state. The pain of watching what I consider to be, oh, that's an interesting production. I really am curious about why they do that choice. I wonder if I can find a commentary on the director and I can hear him when he's filming that, what he's thinking, to another production which is like embarrassment of my nationality. Torture. Torture. Can transform into serious actors. See my face? Answered you. Transform into serious actors. They're not even actors. Most of the idol actors, they can't even do their own lines. If you can't do your own lines, you can't be submitted for awards. Therefore, you're never gonna be a serious actor. Nobody's ever gonna recognize you are an actor. Ha ha ha. You know, just can't even do their own lines. Ha ha ha. I mean, yeah, recently the hottest being discussed person is Yang Mi, right? Like I said in my video about 哈尔滨1944, there was a time when she still had hope. There was a time she was one of the hopefuls. You can't deny she has talent, and she has a face for camera. But then it's like, well, you don't foster it, you don't take care of it, you just completely is that overdraft, right? You just use it up too early and you don't take care of it, so it's dead. You don't cultivate. You have a really good, strong starter, but you left it on a burning stove. It's like it's all dead now. You killed all the bacteria and yeast and potential. So like, yeah, turn back time maybe. If you don't, like, how are you gonna make it come back to life? You can't do it. Yang Mi, sad. Also, like, she did do something to her face, which, you know, superstitiously, if you change your, if you significantly alter your facial structure, it's gonna also alter your life. It's weird, I know, but there are a couple of things in your facial structure that's very indicative of certain things. You are better not to touch it if you don't want to fuck up your life. It's a type of like, if you know, you don't do it. Plastic surgery is a problem. Particularly, like if you're doing a filler injection here and there, it doesn't really change much. But if you move your bones, like you literally change your bone structure, it will cause really, really long-term effect that you cannot turn it back. It's like if once you cut it off, it's not gonna grow back. So you're never gonna have it anymore. And over a long time, it's gonna affect a lot of things. Because bone is the base. Your bones are the base, right? She significantly removed certain piece of her bones, which very daring, but also it happens to be a really important piece of bones on your facial structure. So I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with in the 玄学 world, right? In the fortune telling world, it affects things. Energy. Let's say it affects energy. But also just she's irresponsible. That's it. As an actor, she completely didn't keep up the work. Like if you are a Beijing opera singer for your lifetime, every morning you get up 6 o'clock and you do 早功, which is you sing, you practice, you run in circles, you stretch. You know, you have to always be able to hold your legs up that high. You have to be able to hold your breath that long. You have to always practice your vocals. If you're a professional singer, you know, opera singer, you have to do it every day. You have no choice. That's it. If you're a ballerina, you have to do it every day. You stop it for 3 days, you're right. And it's like that. Acting is also muscle and it's also training. And you cannot, if you intend to do it for the rest of your life, then you just have to do it for the rest of your life. You have to get up every day and do it. If you don't do it, you're not gonna keep it. It's gonna go. It's that simple. She didn't do it. She didn't do it. You know, like line delivery, it's not that hard. But then first is you have to learn it for a while to understand it, and then you practice, right? Over time, you do some intentional practice to keep it. It's a muscle. It's like when I do readings, if you ask me now to go and record a novel, I will tell you, give me a week or two, and for those week or two, I'll over practice. Like I'll not talk like my normal me. I'll practice the very standard Mandarin way of talking, and I'll let the muscles kind of try to remember what it should be. At least I'll do a bit work to get to, because if you instantly, you haven't done it for months or years, and you do it now, you're not gonna be able to do it. You just need to, it's a muscle, it's a practice. And she hasn't been doing her online delivery for ages. It's always been dubbed. So she doesn't need even to practice that. So now when she's doing it herself, it's all over the place. Here inside, it's not controlled. Here, it's not controlled. She has no command of her own voice at all. She can't act with her voice at all. It's like pathetically bad. Like that level. So you're like, yeah, you're an actor. You can do your own lines. Good actor. Well, it's the same thing in the whole world, right? Female and male, the requirement is completely different. Actors can get old and ugly, and they're still graceful, and they're like at that age playing that perfect actor. And then the same age female, like actresses, when they were young, when they were a couple, now like 20 years later, the guy is still playing, I don't know, mafia boss, and the woman is like not even seeing in cinema because she can't get any work because she's no longer pretty. It's not just in C entertainment, everywhere it's the same. Women's are, it's just the world is not fair. What can we do? It's not fair. How they value beauty and how they judge it. Also, for women, there's the unfair thing about, you do get that hormones change that men don't get. Like men do, but it like only happens when you're 80. If you live to that old, you know, like you'll get it. But then it's like, you get it easy. And then women is like between 40, 50, right? You'll hit menopause and it will suddenly just switch everything. And you can't do anything yet. It's just coming for you, hey? So it's unfair, that disadvantage. I think traditional Chinese medicine would time women on the cycle of 7 and men on the 8. So if you're curious, for all the women, traditional Chinese medicine, think of you in 7 increments, like 7 years old, 14 years old, 21, so it's always times 7. So by the time you're 49, which is 7-7, you're pretty much menopause. You know, most women would hit that already. And for guys, it's 8-8. So it's 8-year-old, 16-year-old, and it keeps going, 24, and it's like you're on an 8 cycle. So for guy, 8-8 is 64. So which means for most guys, by the age 64, pretty much after that, don't try to produce kids. It's not like you can, but it probably will be no high quality. But before that, you're pretty good. And that's how Chinese medicine sort of cycles the age of the two genders. To some extent, I think it's pretty accurate. Like girls tend to you know, like your adolescence comes earlier than guys, and you're on a faster cycle than the men. And it's unfair. Like when women get to the 40, 50, they really see a huge change in their physical appearance and everything. But guys don't have that happen. If they keep it up, like if they don't crazy do drugs and don't take care of their diet and exercise, they can pretty much smoothly glide down until they're 70. And for women, it's like, like there's that happening to most of, because you're gonna just suddenly lose your estrogen. Like it suddenly is not there. Very quickly, within a year or two, like it changes dramatically. Ask nature. Blame it on the science of biology. So it's quite unfair. But a lot of women would hit already that block long before their menopause, right? In their late 30s, they start to not become as attractive. Yeah, it's unfair. It's how it works. again, see, entertainment is like, for entertainment, like for actors, the people who are watching them mostly are women. You know what? Women are not as mean to men than men to women. So they're like constantly forgiven. I don't know why, but it's so unfair, but it is true. And then for drama audiences, 70% usually are women. So it's easier for guys. Can't help it. It's just easier for guys. The whole world is like that. It's not not anytime soon it's gonna change. What else? Yeah, I don't know. So if you're watching 狐妖小红娘, let me know what you're thinking. Because I probably will talk about it, but maybe not next week. I'm not sure when I'm going to talk about it. I probably will have to talk about Joy of Life first and just rant about how unhappy I am about it. Then Hu Yao, if I am still watching by that point, because right now it just looks so boring. Oh, I need to wait till Wei Zheming shows up at least, I think. I've already seen Gong Jun showing up, which is good-looking guy. That's it. I mean, he's good-looking in period dramas. And this drama actually styles him looking pretty okay, like compared to An Le Zhuan. I think he looks better, but so what? You know, Yang Mi is also very smoothed out and looking a lot prettier than Harbin 1944 because it's a fantasy drama. She's dressed up and made up and lit to completely lose all the details on her face. So, you know, wrinkles, whatever thing is like not gonna show up anyway. It's all erased. But for this type of fantasy idol drama, you actually don't need to act. You don't need to have any acting skill. You can just stand in front of the camera as long as you're pretty and you can you can do all the expressions. Then you're good. If I were like pretty, you know, in that kind of sort of standard of being a pretty Chinese actress, I can do it. I can do better. I probably only use 30% of my concentration and I can do that. And if I use 50, I'll be a phenomenal actress. Honestly, you don't need to do anything. Like, it's just so bland. It doesn't require anything. You don't even need to act. It's so basic. It's pathetically stupid. It's no story. There's no character. There's no depth. Like, what do you need to do? Just stand there and be pretty in front of the camera. As long as you can't understand the director's cueing. It's like, now look left, now look right, now like turn around. Oh, and time, like count to 3 and walk off the, like exit from frame left. Like, if you can understand that, you can do it. Oh, and I can do any voice, like if they want. So you don't even need to get an extra dubber. I can just dub myself. How about that? 2 for the price of 1. Yeah, only thing is I'm not an actress and not pretty enough for it. won't pass for idol drama. That's the thing. All right, you need to be like that skinny, that pale, that huge eyes, and whatever. Like, there's a standard of like pretty. Yeah, but you really don't need to know how to act at all. You don't even need to understand the script. Your Chinese is like three, like grade 3. All right, grade 3 Chinese is enough. Right? Because you can tell sometimes the actors, like the so-called Liu Liang, they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand the script. It's like their Chinese whatever, like, education hasn't even gone through like middle school. They don't process, like, the sentence is long and they don't understand what they're saying. They can't even find where is the logic break of a sentence, where you need to stop, which is the word you need to emphasize in your line delivery of this particular sentence when you're talking to a particular person. They have no idea. Like, you can tell. if it's not dubbed, it's done by the same, like the actress or actor themselves, you just suddenly get, they don't know what they're saying because they don't know where to put. Like the rhythm of the sentence is not really helping them express the meaning of the sentence. They're just reciting it. 重音, emphasis, right? And 逻辑重音, where you need to put it, and then where you slow down, speed up, tone, right? Also, like when you're addressing, you're addressing a person and what's the relationship between them and what you want to emphasize to them. So basically, the meaning you want to get across to that person within that scene. Like you find that so many actors actually have no clue. That's why they're saying it like a robot. Like they're just da 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 da, and they don't understand what they're saying. So you can only contribute that to either they're just thick, or they're just so not educated that they can't understand the script. I mean, they may be very clever in life in terms of knowing exactly what ass to kiss up to, but they can't read anything. They're illiterate, literally. Like that's that bad. No kidding. Some of them are completely having no clue about what they're saying. They can't read a script, and you don't even bother to say, like, try to understand, like, write a biography for your character. They can't type. They can't even type. Like, write biography. Yeah, good luck. 龚俊安乐哲. Yeah, for guys, one is wig will really change your facial structure, right? The wig, where you put the hairline makes a huge difference. How the hairline goes also. Yeah, and also Gong Jun doesn't work opposite a female. Like his chemistry only works opposite a male. You've seen that twice. I don't know why, but it only works. Like some people don't have sex appeal, you can't force it. Some people only have sex appeal when they're opposite the right people. Gong Jun has paired up with how many actresses now? Didi Raba, Zhou Yutong, Yang Mi, Zhong Chuxi. Like how many? Which one worked? He doesn't work with any. Like it just doesn't work. No chemistry. Pretty face, no chemistry. And what can I say? It's not there. And it's like, you know, the kind of a look that's in Wen Kexing's eyes, that's like glitter and it's like moving and it's like so alive. It only happened when there's a guy opposite him. Like, what can I say? It never worked with a woman. Did it work for you? Really? Well, good. For Zhong Shuxi, I totally didn't get it. Sorry. Also, I think his own voice really doesn't help. He has a very awkward, heavy, thick line delivery. His voice and then his tongue. Like, he's not nimble. His speech is very heavy and brick-like. It has that very Han. You know the word Han? Right? Han. The nature of being very Han. So when he's not speaking, he looks okay. Like a you know, like a metropolitan, like white collar, popular type of like good looking model. But when he speaks, he's like the brick and the heaviness like gushes out. It's like he has that very not smooth and sophisticated quality in his voice that when he speaks, 破功, it immediately just breaks down that image. I think it's, don't kill me for it. I like his Wen Kexing, but if it wasn't Wang Kai dubbing him, it would have failed. If it wasn't Wang Kai's very, what we call very 公子 type of sound, voice. the very pretty, dressed up, prince-like voice, right? His voice is just not that. Also, like, people joke about when he's been dubbed by a very glorious and polished voice, he doesn't appear to be so Han. But when he's talking with his own voice, you would notice his mouth movement is very clunky. His jaw and chin is very clunky. He talks in a very clunky way. It's like people joke about he looks like a horse chewing grasses. He's like a horse when he chews. Like when he talks, he has that. And I agree. It does look like that. And if you don't hear his real voice, it doesn't come out so obvious. But if you hear his own voice, that horse chewing grass quality comes out a lot stronger. I know, it's like it's not terribly meant. Right? I don't mean ill. I'm observing, and it reminds me. It's like those stone grinding thing, you know, like you're grinding soybeans to get milk out of. It has that clunkiness. Now, when he gets dubbed by somebody who has a totally different voice quality, you ignore that very strong visual distraction here. But if he is using his own clunky voice and with that clunky movement, 哎呀，真的就 you can only look like from here up, pretty. From here down, it's like, do you want a carrot? Sometimes I can't help. I look at that, I just like can't help. I'm just like, do you want a carrot? Or an apple. I think you're enjoying it. It just gives you that strong sense of you're looking at a horse being very happy with his food. It's distracting. And I know it's unfair, but the facial thing about a particular thing about an actor always is a problem, because if you have it, you can't. Some people just have it. You know, some people like have one eye higher, one eye lower, or very asymmetrical, or when they talk, they tend to like, I tend to like, my mouth is tend to just one corner up higher, and you can't do anything. It's like the muscle is just in that place. There's no medical things you can do to change it. And if it happens to be unfortunately distracting for most of the human beings, it's not your fault. You're not bad in any way, but it's a problem. Like sometimes if you ever went to a casting room, and when you're looking at potential actors, you have all the photos up, their videos up, and audition tape up, and you're looking at how directors are picking and producers are picking people. It's absolutely brutal. Because we're talking about business. We're going to put money, hundreds, millions, on this person as the lead or whatever. If it doesn't work for any reason, we're not going to pick this person. I mean, it could be the best actor out there, but he happens to have that one annoying thing on his face he always does, and he can't help it, and we know it's not his fault, but we're not going to pick him. Because it's going to be a problem. And we can't solve it. Like, if it's anything we can solve it, okay, but it cannot be solved, then I know it sounds really bad, but it's how it works. Like, if you've ever seen how brutal the process of casting is. I've seen, like, those things, if they get taped and put out, right, those directors and producers will get murdered. They will get murdered. Because they will literally pick you as a piece of meat. That's how it's done. It's like, this person, the bag of his eyes here is too much. Can we do anything about that? It's too much. It's not gonna work. And if we can't use this person. Oh. And that person, there's a mole. Ask him to laser it off next week when we come to see. That teeth needs to get taken out. Okay, think about it. It's a human being, right? It's like you're gonna change something on their face. Permanently, perhaps, just for your sake of a role. But then you're literally gonna do that, and you're gonna tell them, do you want to play this role? Do you want? If you want, you need to go and get rid of that. And I don't need to see it 2 weeks later. If it's still there, we can't use you. Or it's okay. Yeah, we need you to lose 10 pounds in a week. Yeah, can you do that? It's like normal. So that's how it works. And so I guess like these days, because Chinese drama land has since 2017-16, it has all that rush of idol capital, all that thing, that all those no longer applies because it no longer goes through the same procedure. Like previously, resources are so controlled by a very small group of people, like directors, production companies, and they pick people already from a round of like, if you go into like Academy of Acting, you're already prettier than most people. And then they, right, that whole process of like actually picking people, layer after layer, sieving through them and picking the last couple that's perfect in every aspect that I want and I use you. Now that whole process is no longer working in the same way. So you have a lot of idol who come from all kinds of weird places who would conventionally never go through the first round of like selection. Now they are the boss. They come out because they're the Liu Liang. So that the directors have to kiss up their asses and then tailor to their needs. So that the story obviously will get compromised. Because honestly, for the people who are taking care of this script, and it's like, we need to find this type of person, but actually this actor, well, his like left eye is huge, like 10 times, not 10 times, like huge, a lot bigger than the left, right? And then the corner of the mouth is not lined up, and this person has this problem when they speak, they twitch. Like how, like what are we gonna do about that? I was thinking, we can't do anything. Ignore that. Because we have to use him as the lead, or you have to use her as the lead. Just ignore that and keep going. So yeah, you're gonna get obviously crappy stuff because nobody's ever happy about anything, and we just like put it together. It's a sad situation. But also like the business itself is very cruel. It just doesn't really, in many ways you feel like you're just like a piece of meat, right? You're so not respected as a human being, but 愿打愿挨, right? They pick what they like for the production standard. They just want to pick that perfect person who just happen to fit their needs perfectly. That would be ideal, right? If you can, then there's and sometimes it's something that you can't even quantify. It's like you have a couple of people all lined up for this route and you're just like, but that person just feels right. Like, yeah, try to like argue with that. It's like, why am I not picked and the other person picked? And we're like, you just don't feel as appropriate as the other person. Huh. So. BL is much more. Do you mean BL or like when people type BL, I have no idea if they're talking about a person or the genre. Oh, you're talking about genre. BL is not real. BL is female fascination, female projection of the ideal on par relationship. Let's put it that way. Because we all know in a heterosexual relationship, women have a lot of natural disadvantages. And there's always that whole game theory of who has more to lose in the relationship between a man and a woman, right? And it's not fair. It's not a fair fight. It never will be. Therefore, I think the BL is a reflection of the idealized relationship from a female perspective. When you imagine two people are completely on par with each other, gender, physics, strength, like everything, right? They're the idealized form of relationship because you are on par. Completely. Every aspect. But then if it's a guy and a girl, you are just, from starting line, it's not fair already. You know, the whole, if you ever get to the point where you're gonna have a kid, right, it's no longer fair. One is gonna have to use their own blood and calcium in their bone to make another human being, and the other one just once. They literally contribute a sperm, and the other person is gonna use their blood and marrow and potential risk of death and having a huge parasite in their body for like 9 months. It's already unfair. And no matter what you do, it's not fair. It never is gonna be fair. So women, when they go into this type of relationship, they always have more to lose. Always. And it's always a potential threat and loss that cannot be compensated. No matter what, like how prettily you dress up or how perfect your partner is. Like him, he might be the best guy in human history, but it's like you still have more to lose. Usually that's the case. And then if you're so in your mental projection, right? You have this perfect relationship where they're completely fair. Nobody has to give up more than the other. BL. And then you get to see two good-looking guys like for the price of one. It's like buying discount stuff, you know? Though obviously it's exciting. I'm talking about BL. Why? Women like BL. Because you can't get it in real life. And real life is never fair. But BL can. BL is the escape plan. So it's not real. Like, it's not a real gay man relationship. It's not like that. But hey, we ship it. We ship it, right? It's like Sherlock and Watson. So that's why Mary has to die. Very sad. But even the Brits, you know, the 腐国 people, the most famous gay kingdom knows, you know, the gay writers know, like, let's just kill Mary eventually, because it's in that, you know, it's not a fair relationship. Anyway, too much. It's over 12:30. What else? Yeah, most of those popular 流量 actors, right? They're just, to me, I don't consider them honestly as actors. I call them actors because they're functioning as actors, but they don't qualify. When I talk to people in private, it's like casting for certain things. Okay, I'm never gonna mention their name. It's like I would not recommend these people to you. No way. It's just gonna, you know, don't tank your project. It's not worth it. They're too expensive to hire, and they're not gonna do the job well, and you're gonna get a shit ton of trouble with their fandoms. So don't ever pick them. For real, like if you want to make somebody suffer, it's like they're your enemy and they're asking for your advice somehow. It's like, who should we pick? I will tell them to pick those 流量 and get themselves into trouble. And that's how I would use 流量. And for somebody who's serious about telling a good story and they want to cater and they want to foster and they take care of their story and they think their story is their baby and they love it, then I would never recommend 流量 to them. I'm like, run away from this person as fast as you can. Yeah, and BL, like in BL stories, the men are not male. Like when you think about it, they just happen to have the best qualities female project. We want humans to have. Sometimes it's not like, yeah, you want a man to have, but like you want a lover to have, and it's even moved beyond gender, right? It's like the ideal form of lover. That's completely equal, on par. And the best characters and moralities and personalities and sort of little cute things that you can give a person. Like you idealize that. Yeah. As for why, because most of those BL fans, women, they're themselves heterosexual, so they like it's sort of like yeah like, you like guys, you like good looking guys, so you create two guys. They're on par, and because if it's a guy and girl, then the girl is always, again, you know, it's not fair. And then if you create girls, well, you want to look at guys because you're straight. You know, so it's weird. That's why, like, it's like, what else do you have? You're human. You have like what? You don't have another gender called like, I don't know, like another completely different one than a woman and a man. Like, do you have a third choice that has like a different organ that grows out of somewhere that does different things? You don't have it. Like, humans are just like boring, like this. Therefore, you have no choice. And sort of like orientation is a weird thing. It's like I think it's biologically applicable to most mammals. Is a percentage of your whole species is always gay, you know, and it stays very stable, the number. Or like it's like statistically, eventually it gets to that sort of proportion, and it's kind of always just stabilize at a number. It doesn't go crazy. It's like how many left-handed people are in human beings is always a very constant number, percentage wise, and you don't quite know why, but it's just always like that. Yeah. My mom is left-handed. Didn't pass to me. Weird. I don't know how that genetic works. I think it's 10% or something. Yeah, you always have that constant number. And I think ultimately it's just evolution. Like if you look at biologically, it has its purpose of being like that. But humans overcomplicate things because we have a brain to think. It's already too late. It's 12:36. Holy, it's 3 hours. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll do it to the whole number is like 40. I just don't want to look at a weird number. Just do it at like what, 12:40 or something. So today we've talked about Joy of Life, a couple of other dramas, and I don't know, like we got to weird land of talking about whatever. And again, I would recommend Sugar. I really enjoyed it, and I recommended it to a friend of mine. I was like, go and watch Apple TV's Sugar. It's cute, and she watched one episode, and then she stopped. She's like, I'm gonna stop binging it because I want to watch it one episode a day so I can have a longer fun. I'm like, okay, cool. And the next day, she's like, I recommended it to one of my clients because she works at a bank, and she's like, today I met a pair, like a husband and wife pair, old lady and guy. And she's like, I recommended it to them. I'm like, okay, cool. Sugar, is it done? It's done. It's only 8 episodes. It's short. I don't think it's even confirmed whether they're gonna have a second season. But actually, it does not matter. The story itself, whether it has a second season or not, actually doesn't change anything. It's pretty... You can end it there and never have a second season. It's still complete. It's... Yeah, in that way, it's pretty good. You don't have to worry about it. I just like the fact that it has high... Oh, is it done? No, I have 2 minutes and I'll shut down. I've been here for 3 hours. Just blah, blah, blah. I'm happy because I do this type of live stream, and then although I say offensive things throughout, still, I don't think anybody cares and nobody would bother to actually trying to transcript my things. Sorry about Gongjun fans if you think what I said is I don't hate him at all. As an actor, I have like I don't have high hopes for him. And I don't have a problem with him. But if you are looking for a good performance and story, right, he can provide it to you. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, he has a good looking face, but it's not hard to spot if you have talent in acting. You need one scene. It's that cruel. This business is, you need one scene of a person looking at the camera or not looking at the camera, on camera. You will be able to tell 80% accurate whether they have it for acting or not. It's just, yeah, something like that. We just have a lot of people right now in Chinese acting business who are not meant to be actors, who just happen to land here for other reasons. I don't know if they enjoy doing what they do, with all the good things that comes with their acting, all the troubles that also comes. And then you do have a lot of people who are meant to do this job, but because of what the situation is like. They don't get opportunities. It's very unfortunate for both parties. Both type of peoples are, let's say, they're not put into the right place, or that's best for themselves and for everybody else too. It's just misplacement. In the world of Yang Yang. The Yang Jiajun, do you know the whole joke about Yang Jiajun? All the young people who cannot act but who are popular? Yang Mi, Yang Yang, Yang Chaoyue. There's another person. Who is that? Yang Mi, Yang Yang, Yang Chaoyue. And there's another one. There are 4 of them. I can't remember who's the 4th person. Yang Jiajiang, 内娱杨家将. Just, it's very accurate. Oh, Yang Ying, yes. 内娱杨家将. The 4 Yangs who shouldn't be actors. Angelababy, Yang Mi, Yang Yang, and Yang Chaoyue. And I would agree. I would agree. It's a hopeless situation. Good looking, all very good looking people. Okay, let's be honest. They're highly good, like top good looking people in their category of being good looking, but they should stay on magazine covers and still shots. Stay in them, not moving. Don't move. Just stay still. Stay still is when you provide your highest value to humanity. Once you start moving, okay, I should end today's live stream. It's too long and it's gonna look ridiculous on my channel. It's like 3 hours of people talking about whatever stuff. Thank you for joining in. It's like 200 people. Somehow you're here. I don't know. Spending your precious lifetime watching me talk about these things. It's have a good afternoon, night, early morning. I don't know. Like, if you should sleep, you should sleep. And take care. And I'll see you in my next video. Let's see what summer is gonna bring. Okay, summer, Chinese Wonderland. Take care.